allow the children to handle the budget every year.
It's okay. Off your mic. It's okay.
She
Off your mic. Off your
like me.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go sama us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego diary politico, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Sure. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind, but thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego diary politico, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. This one not they off in mind, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my yegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my yegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my yegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo. My yegun don't come, oh, yo. My people make you shout, oh, yo. My yegun don't come, oh, yo. Man of the masses, my ego don't come, my ego diary politico,
Hello there.
My ego now I'm on la moto do. My ego diary,
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun Live.
Glory Facebook, glory YouTube. Gbogbo ṣe ń lọ ní Mayegun já wa sí.
Thank you so much for joining me. Share this broadcast as you are joining, okay? Invite your friends. Invite your not so friendly friends. Tell them, Mayegun today.
Mayegun diary politico. Godfatherism, kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun diary.
Thank you. Share the broadcast.
Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ dódódódó.
Thiefnubu inherited a standing dead horse. That is how Soludo or Soludol described Nigeria, that Thiefnubu inherited from Bokwari. You should share this broadcast, seriously.
Lórí Facebook, and yes, so like lórí YouTube. And yes,
somebody said that they never really wish to miss this part of the song. Mayegu today.
And yes, Presido Barufio. And yes, Igoni Nakowoje. And yes, Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí pa. And yes, aṣòfin tí ń rúfin òwò. And yes,
Thank you.
Òkúra olóṣèlú. And yes, ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnrakì. And yes,
Good morning to you once again, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. It is Mayegun live. Like the normal way or the ritual, the regular one is that as you are joining us, okay, you should like the broadcast, okay, share it, and read the caption, read the description, the whole thing. It will take you less than a minute to do that before you settle down. It gives you the, it's like it gives you the, what do you call it? The insight into what you are about to spend your next 3 hours on, right? And if you have done that, great. See, I took about a minute there trying to Google what a standing dead horse look like. And this is what Google brought on, okay? Standing dead horse. I don't know how to describe that, but it doesn't look like something beautiful. It's like a metaphor, which simply means you might be singing when they say a standing dead horse. In fact, let's start it this way. Soludo, please, let's start from him. I will say, There you go.
So each time you say Minister of the FCT, the first thing that comes to the mind of the people is demolition. If FCT is not like Ministry of Works, it's an administration. There are very many important things than demolition that makes up administration of the FCT. Let us even start with the demolition. He said he wants to go back to the original master plan. If we may talk about the original master plan, let me tell you, Mr. Sheon, that the Aso Villa that seats the president, the seat of power, is not in the original master plan. It must go down. Because these were the things he was saying. If it is not in the master plan, it must go down. So Aso Villa must go down. Secondly, all the military barracks that you see within the FCT are not in the original master plan. In fact, the places where the military barracks are in the original plan, master plan, was supposed to be a bossa and a central parks for recreational facilities. Then the military barracks must go down. Thirdly, the famous Asokoro you are hearing at the extension, where all the governors in Nigeria, if not most of them, have either the liaison office or their private homes. They are not in the original plan. They must go down. There are many federal government assets and buildings in strategic places that are not in the original master plan.
Do you have the master plan?
I don't, but it is of knowledge. I mean, this thing were discussed over and over. Rufai talked about it. Certain association of town planners in the FCT sat and talked about it. If you are coming to the FCT, to me, what should come to your mind? President Tinubu is making all the effort to tell Nigerians, look, I am responsible, I asked for the job. And he told his ministers, I will not hesitate to sack you, you must do the work. He wants to say, I am coming with the idea of peace to do good. I think that what Governor Wike is saying is antithetical to what he's saying. For example, Governor Wike quoted what President Tinubu said at the NBA. I want to ride in Abuja Rail. Did you hear? I
decided to use that from the start anyway. But yeah, I have that clip of Soludo's interview at the same channels. I'm coming back to that Abuja master plan and others, what he said. You know, Your Excellency, your position is bound to elicit another round of debate, and I wonder how sustained it will be. But let's manage our time, and I want to warn you, this is a 2-in-1. First of all, there are reports that suggest that the Rwanda retreat was sponsored only to the extent that the UNDP paid for conference costs, facilitators, and the venue, that the governors actually had to bear the cost of their hotel, their aids, and their transportation. Please confirm or debunk that. Also, the administration, the president said at the NBA conference that it's not sustainable to be servicing debt with 90% of revenue. Does anything in the administration with 48 ministers suggest that there is a commitment really, to balancing it out, by servicing debt, with capital and recurrent expenditure not suffering? Is there anything that suggests the commitment of this administration to that? Let's benefit from your experience as former CBN governor on that one.
Thank you very much. I think you are really prepared this morning. Well, I think, the first part of it is the easier one, which is about the payments. Coincidentally, I happen to have been there, and I must admit, I happen to be one of those who suggested and felt that Kigali was a better place to do this. And I'm very glad that all our colleagues, everybody felt this was fantastic, and this was a great choice of a venue to do that. Second is that, coincidentally, I didn't spend a penny. I went with 1/8 of mine, and we didn't spend a dime. Flights, I just walked into the airport to they booked for me and my aide, and then we flew in there, stayed in the hotel, and checked out, and nobody asked me for to pay. I did not spend a dime because I didn't even have a chance to go anywhere else other than the structure, because it was very intensive. 3 days, from first thing in the morning till night. It ended each night again with walking dinner, either with the government officials or with their private sector. And then the third night with the president, where we spent about 4 hours with the president himself, and so on. So that wasn't even, I did not spend a dime, not 1 penny, except when we went to the genocide memorial. And they told us, after all the tour, they told us, maintaining the memorial was strictly on charity. And if anybody felt like he needed to support it, there's a basket there. You could go and drop something there, and so on. It's so nice. So if you felt like anything, if you have a loose change or whatever thing, you could go and drop in the basket. And I think some people felt, with the tears in their eyes, went to drop something there. Other than that, all expenses paid. So that's given with that. Now, with regards to the macroeconomics of this country, the macroeconomy, that's probably a subject for a whole program. And okay. I only need to say to you, and in empathy, and commiserations for the economic team of the president. This government inherited, from a macroeconomic standpoint, I would say an economy the economy was like a dead horse, but standing in macroeconomic terms. And, modeling through this over the coming months will be bumpy, no question about it. But I am glad that at least the first salvos have been, shot by the president, by his courageous step to remove the obnoxious scam that has festered over the years called petrol subsidy, and then dealing with the exchange rate.
I'm so sorry that I have to put you through all of that. Or at least that may be the worst part that you're going to watch on this program tonight. But let us start breaking it down. So the description of Nigeria microeconomy is like a standing, or a dead horse that is standing, which simply put, a lot of people don't have a clue or an idea or explanation that after what they have done to Nigeria, especially in the last 8 years of APC, after all the horrible economic decisions and ruinous policies that destroyed Nigeria micro and macro economy, in fact, destroyed Nigeria economically, these guys, they still don't kind of have the ball to say it to Thiefnubu, that Bokwari, the same man that turned Nigeria into a dead horse standing. So a lot of people couldn't explain that after all of that, Nigeria is still existing right now, that people are still waking up like normal. People are still doing everything like it is normal. Nobody can explain that. And because they can't explain that, of course, they can keep going in circle and in circle to make you think they are doing something. Now, just last week, the report came that Nigeria governors, they went for a retreat in Rwanda. You know the story of Rwanda. In Africa today, after 23 years of Kagame, which you can't actually describe as a democracy, all right? The economy of Rwanda still survive on over 60% donation, foreign aid. In Rwanda, that same Rwanda, that economy of Anambra alone is bigger than the entire economy of Rwanda. Now, that's how it should be. The economy of Lagos State alone is times 100 or times 200 of the economy of Rwanda. But people like Soludo and Soludo, they took a retreat there because they wanted to go and learn how to develop or how to blah, 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 or, all that stuff. That's why they went to Rwanda. Now, coming back to Nigeria, where the same country ruled and ruined by APC, and those who did all of this, they are still walking freely all about in Nigeria today. But the easy sell is that for Nigeria to survive the wars, they have to remove the subsidy, which according to him is a scam, that they have been scamming Nigeria of trillions of naira. But as much as everybody is saying it's a scam, where are the scammers? Where are those who collected the subsidy? And where are those who helped APC to kill Nigeria and turn it into a dead horse standing? That's from the viewpoint of Soludo. Now, coming back to Nigeria, again, like where, according to him, the economic team of Kolu, they are already working out some magic after, the removal of subsidy that created all this hardship and all of that, which is also a lie. Now, let me give you the background of the kind of work they are doing, at least to bring you up to date to whatever Soludo is trying to regurgitate on TV in Nigeria. He is a former central bank governor of Nigeria. He is a politician now. He lies because he has to lie to sustain the lifestyle that he and his family are currently living. The Anambra people who they told that Anambra will become small, or Nigeria, Japan. I've been in Nigeria, China. What did Soludo tell you in Anambra? It's been almost 3 years now. Well, it's going to be 4 years soon. So when you now see somebody who happens to be an economist, in Nigerian standard, a sort of respected economist, a former central bank governor, who also exists in that same Nigeria, who knows better what is happening, but he's a politician. He knows Nigeria is economically dead, and he also knows, like all of them knew, when Boko Haram was there, and they were telling Boko Haram then that if not for Boko Haram, Nigeria would have been completely gone, while they were slaughtering Nigeria economically. The likes of Soludo and Soludom and the rest of them, then they couldn't tell Boko Haram that he was killing Nigeria. They couldn't. They didn't. Boko Haram is gone, handed over a standing dead us as a country to a sort of, literally dead man. I mean, somebody who has nothing upstairs to change the fortune of Nigeria. He has none. So if Soludom, an economist who knows this, decided to come around and tell you the economic team of the Mr. President, they are now working around to make sure. Now, let me tell you what they are working on, because they are not working on anything. You can take that from me. They are not. The only thing they are working on is to create their own avenue of looting, swindling, and manipulation, which will further aggravate whatever you are going through right now. They will look for somebody to blame them. Until then, I'll tell you what did they do. When Boko Haram came in, he introduced, through the Central Bank of Nigeria, they introduced something called the round tripping. That round tripping was a way of rewarding jobless political criminals in Babariga in different, kind of luxurious attires that makes them appear like they are actually successful people when they are not. It was a kickback, a behind the scene, behind the curtain exchange rate that finally crippled Nigeria economy. Nigeria is a country that is import dependent. You know that, which means you will need more of a forex, okay, to be able to trade, since there is no investment in manufacturing, industry, and the rest of them, even in power in Nigeria. It's all what? Fraud, crime, and criminally, yeah. So what happened? After making it a sort of a hell for real businessmen to access the forex in order to trade and possibly earn more for Nigeria, or possibly help the Nigeria economy as they used to, it became a hell. And in a space of 8 years, Nigeria became a tissue paper. Now, economically, when they killed Naira, they've killed Nigeria. The likes of Soludom knows, and many like them, including Thiefnubu, who was kind of praising Boko Haram at the time. Another thing they did, they opened the door. NNPC Nigeria opened the door for oil thieves to continue to steal Nigeria crude oil. In the end, Nigeria lost all revenue. They had no money. They started printing money. Inflation started skyrocketing. They started fixing the figures, the statistics. They started fixing all of that. Now, why they were doing all of this, lying to themselves and lying to Nigerians, Nigerians were feeling the heat. They were wondering, what could this be all about? Like, why were they working and they are still suffering? It's not hard. You just need to look in the mirror and look at the type of criminals you are enabling. So fast forward 8 years. Economy of Nigeria is already in the hole, in the gutters. Thiefnubu came. He didn't tell anybody how he was going to change it or fix it, no. He just said, hope is here. And it would continue from wherever Boko Haram will stop. Scary stuff. And I actually did a program on it that I said, for Thiefnubu coming to tell you that he was going to continue from where Boko Haram will stop is actually a threat to your life. And I was right. In fact, I am right. So what are they doing to change the whole thing? Apart from all the talks, no action, I'll tell you. Instead of them to first come clean, and say, listen, this is the total amount of money that we have managed for now to discover that have been stolen or mismanaged by Boko Haram's government. Let that shattering truth first hit all Nigerians first. Be honest. How much money did Nigeria lose in 8 years? And who are those who supervised that? I can tell you, I can write you a blank check, okay? The truth will start from telling you that Nigeria lost over 500 billion US dollars. More frame them that way. Or better still, you can put it and say, Nigeria lost over 600 trillion naira. 600 trillion naira to criminals, APC criminals in 8 years. Both federal, state, and local across Nigeria. They depleted Nigeria. You know what they call the real shakedown. Now, if you say that, that would then begin to give Nigerians the idea of the mess they are in. You can't print money. You cannot print money out of this. You cannot print money or print your way. Or sorry, mint money or mint your way out of this. You can't. You cannot use propaganda to get out of this mess. You can't. You cannot use brainwashing, blame game. No, 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 no. You have to be honest. And talking about honesty, is like looking for a diamond, inside the pig shit. You know what I mean? Like, you just go to the piggery, and then you see the pig shit, and you begin to look for diamond inside there. APC, Egbe, Nigeria establishment, and truth in the same sentence, on the same line. It's impossible. They won't do it. Conspiracy here and there. They have emptied Nigeria. Nigeria foreign reserve is a patry $2 billion. Tori Olong. Omo. I don't know how to explain it to you, but since they are not going to be honest, and they are going to be manufacturing different excuses. You see, when they come honest, when they come clean, that time, then you begin to pick everybody who got what. Malamu, that got over 2 trillion naira from Nigeria for being your minister of Attorney General of Nigeria. Malamu alone made over 2 trillion naira. And I'm just being generous. I'm just being generous. You know what? There's a particular one. Quick one, They were negotiating the return of Abacha loot to Nigeria. All right? And the money, they've negotiated everything under Goodluck Ebere Jonathan, all sorted. Then Jonathan lost election and Boko Haram came in. And Boko Haram appointed Malamu as Attorney General of Nigeria. So Malamu's office, which is the office of the Attorney General of Nigeria, was the same office that put together the lawyers from their own office to fight the case in the UK. And then they won the case in the UK, and the money was about to be returned. $1.something billion. And Boko Haram came in. All they had to do was just to say, yes, we are ready to receive the money, and sign the paper, and the UK will release the money to them. Do you know what Malamu did? Malamu decided to go and hire different legal team outside the office of the Attorney General, inside the Attorney General's office, Ministry of Justice of Nigeria, where the Minister of Justice and Attorney General supervises. It is filled with like senior lawyers for different cases. They are there to represent the federal government of Nigeria, locally and internationally. They are paid by the ministry to represent Nigeria. Those ones, before these criminals did their job, okay? And they were expecting the payment. And these criminals came in. Malamu decided to hire another different group of lawyers. Those group of lawyers, they now stood in as those who are renegotiating the transfer of the loot, Abacha loot. For being in that position, then Malamu said they are entitled to 18% of the money. After Nigeria paid them, sure you get, Nigeria paid them for doing nothing. Then they got another 18% of the total money returned. What is 18% of a $1.6 billion? You can go and do your math. That's how much Malamu cashed out. On this issue of oil bunkering, stealing of Nigeria crude oil, the sale between the NNPC, Ministry of Justice, where Malamu was, and the Central Bank of Nigeria, once they begin to pick them, once they begin to shake them, they can at least shake more than 20 trillion naira from these guys. And I'm not being so exaggerative right now. I'm being very much real and even generous. Do you understand? But unfortunately, they are telling Nigerians that they will bear the brunt. So what is Thiefnubu doing to change this economic misfortune? Okay. The first step, since there is no money in the Nigerian foreign reserve, no money in the Nigerian excess crude account, no money in anywhere, whatever is coming from Nigerian taxes, 98% of that is going into repayment, into servicing debts, not even repayment of debt. Nigeria indebtedness now has crossed over $150 billion. And that is just those ones on the book. We don't know those who are off the books. The Sukuk loan and other loans that they have not kind of listed. Yeah? $150 billion worth of poverty. That's an expensive poverty that Bukwari left Nigeria with. But he's cool enough in Daura. Everybody is cool enough wherever they are. At this Irika, right before the Nigerians' very highs, this one happened though. Baba, aviation minister scammed the whole country. Not once, not twice, 3 times. And the 3 times, he cashed out over 87 billion naira. Now one person, just the scam that became public, not those ones behind the curtains. At this Erika, somebody who spent 21 billion launching ordinary logo to celebrate Nigeria airline. Nigeria here, Nigeria here. 21 billion naira, no probe, no nothing. He did it the first time. He did it the second time. He went to the Kenya, which airway he went to that time? He went to an airway in Africa to make a deal that they should help Nigeria paint one single aircraft and fly it to Nigeria and tell Nigerians that they have made a deal with Ethiopian Airline. And now Ethiopia Airline from Ethiopia is going to be supplying Nigeria with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of aircraft that will be carrying the sticker of Nigeria here. When they did all the abracadabra, hired a plane, called the journalist, they appeared in Nigeria, in that same Nigeria airport too. And everybody was saying, congratulations, congratulations, Baba, V. Like magic, want to say no be another 20 billion, no. And that is me just been having it. 38 billion naira. In all of this billion that this Rika was spending, it got to a stage, to further deceive Nigerians. Shebina is the aviation minister. They decided to paint a corner in every airport in Nigeria, and they called it Nigeria Air Corner. Because Nigeria here is still coming. Okay? We are working on it. Baba, 2 days before this Addis Erika finally bowed out as aviation minister in Nigeria, the rogue under Bukwari commissioned 14 trucks, fire trucks in the airport. 14 fire trucks for 14 billion naira. 1 billion naira per truck. He did it. He's cool enough in the palace that he has built for himself. In that same Sharia North, where insulting the prophet is haram. Touching, or what do you call it? Insulting their affairs is haram. Unfortunately, kidnapping is not haram. Corruption is not haram. Sodomy is not haram. Rape is not haram. Terrorism is not haram. Stealing public fund is not a ram. Ladies and gentlemen, this bunch of thieves, they are cooling off right now in northern Nigeria, and they are being called. In fact, a lot of them are waiting. Some of them have become governors. Some have become senators. Others, they're just waiting for the next election so that they can run for president. That's from the north, though. When it comes to looting and destroying Nigeria, there is no part that knows how to do it best than the other. As the northern criminals are doing their own best in ruining Nigeria, southern criminals are doing their own best too in ruining Nigeria under the same APC. Off your mic, off your mic. Honorable Minister, Honorable Minister, off your mic. Because over 4 trillion naira of NDDC money developed wings under these criminals, APC, Ogoni land cleaning. The entire environment of Niger Delta that have become, totally destroyed due to oil exploration and corruption. Baba, the money budgeted for them developed wings. The man that supervised the ministry that stole for over 4 trillion naira, that became a public probe, is the Senate President of Nigeria today. So tell me, how they created the dead horse and how they are fighting it, and what's different now? Because under Thiefnubu, how can we fight all of this now? Okay, maybe we should borrow money. And they want to do it by also lying to you. Lying to you. Bokwari lied to you. They helped Bokwari and Pastor Ruga to lie to you. A lot of you believed their lies, and some of you believed that you are actually making some sacrifices, that very soon Nigeria will be fine. They went borrowing so that you can go sorrowing. Today, a lot of you are sorrowing in the economy they created, and they are still lying to you because that's what they do best. They will never tell you the truth. When they came in and they know that Nigeria is a dead horse standing, what stops them from telling you that they will not do exactly what Bokwari did? And what did Bokwari do? They created the Buharinomic. Buharinomic is a place whereby every economic logic, every logical thing that you might try to apply to all the other world economies, you can never put them beside Nigeria. If Nigeria tells you they are doing this particular economy and you begin to compare them to Singapore, compare them to this, compare them to that, you are doing yourself a great disservice. Because the criminals who are handling Nigeria, especially under Bokwari and still under Thiefnubu, they have their own economy. And the economies are called Buharinomic and Thiefnubunomic. Thiefnubunomic is going to be even worse. Under Bokwari, they shared 500 billion naira without using the bank. They handed 500 billion naira to 12 million people. That's what they said. Ridiculous, Abi. Impossible, Abi. That's why I said, logically, when they are talking about world economies, please do not put Nigeria economy, whatever lies this guy tells you, do not put Nigeria economy by the side of any other economy in the world and begin to measure them. You would probably regret doing so. So what are they doing right now? Under Bokwari, instead of them to be honest with their looting and stealing, right? They were not. What did they do? They went on borrowing. And they will come and tell you, you see, you need to trust Bokwari is an honest person. Sure, you get, if he borrows money, they're not going to steal the money. It is for the investment in Nigeria and all that. After 8 years, not just that, secretly, they were printing money as well. Okay? So they printed so much that Nigeria inflation has become hyper inflation. You understand? So after 8 years, Nigeria is now in debt of over 150 billion naira, the real one. So what is Thiefnubu doing differently? Let's take a look at that. In 2 months, 2 months, since they know that they have inherited a dead horse standing, what have they done? They also have secretly, they have started borrowing. You see this subsidy removal and the lies that they are using as a facade to cover it up, in another few months, they will pay up, and all of you will come to that reality too. Abi, Bokwari was going to fix your refineries, and he was going to build new one. Bokwari was going to generate 10,000 megawatt electricity, distribute 10,000 megawatt electricity every year, and they were supposed to give you 80,000 megawatt of electricity in 8 years. Today, they met Nigeria generated electricity at 6,000, 7,000 at 8,000 megawatt electricity. Today, then distributing at least 3,500 megawatt electricity. Today, after 8 years of APC, and after trillions of your money expended and stolen, they are still generating 8,000 megawatt electricity, and they are distributing even far less now. So what have they done? Thiefnubu secretly, he has taken $750 million loan to improve electricity in Nigeria. They didn't tell you that, Abi. They have taken $500 million loan to empower women in Nigeria. They have taken $890 million loan as palliative, subsidy removal palliative, the money they said they will share to you, including the bag of rice they will give to you. All of that, $890 million is a loan. So you know. You see this, since the foreign reserve of Nigeria has further depleted, and Nigeria is currently bleeding forex, where they can no longer have access, they are no longer having access to this forex because of the oil thieves. So what have they done? The Naira continue to take a serious fall. They are lying to you. Under Bokwari, APC, Egbekegbe said the reason why the dollar and Naira was falling was because some people stole money in Nigeria. They were keeping the dollars. That's why the Naira to dollar was, the gap was 200 Naira. Later, they said those who are speculators, those who are hiding the dollar, they are now those who are speculating, selling the dollars at the highest rate. That's why the dollar jumped to 700 Naira to $1. Later, they said, no. It was those who were selling the dollars under the trees in Abuja. We need to cut down all the trees in Abuja to stop those who are selling dollars under the tree from selling them so that Naira can regain its strength. They cut down trees in Abuja. Naira didn't regain its strength because the same round tripping, the same criminal arrangement behind the scene, they were still very much in place. In fact, they were growing greedier and greedier and greedier. So they couldn't stop because there was no attempt or any intention of stopping them. So they are putting the whole blame on anything they could see, anyone they could blame. So what have they done under Thiefnubu differently? Nothing. They said the reason why petrol have suddenly jumped from 180 Naira, 87 Naira, to over 600 Naira. In fact, you see this story. You see when I told you, logically nothing make logical sense because the economy they are creating, they are not real. They are not real. You cannot make any projection on them that is any way positive. These are criminals who are doing what they know how to do best, fooling everybody. And the rest of you, whether you are a businessman or businesswoman or whatever you are being fooled to even believe them. They are doing the same thing. Subsidy was supposed to be a scam, but we don't know the scammers. They continue to collect trillions. Listen, before these guys came in, Nigeria was paying 200, 400 billion a year for fuel subsidy. And they were selling a fuel at 87 Naira per liter. These criminals came in, and they said subsidy was a scam. They removed it. Fuel jumped to 160 Naira to a liter. Right? But secretly, they were still paying the subsidy. To who? But surprisingly, the subsidy that was 200 billion, 400 billion, suddenly jumped to 1 trillion, 1.4 trillion, 2 trillion. 3 trillion, 4 trillion a year. Who were you paying this money to? They were paying the money to themselves. Abi, that's the subsidy the Thiefnubu announced that he has removed. And that's why you are suffering. But secretly, we are not paying subsidy anymore. We are saving money from subsidy, which is also another lie. So what are they doing? They said the reason why Nigeria is not paying subsidy anymore. May everybody go to buy their fuel from wherever they can get the fuel from. So which means if I have money and I want to bring 1 million liters of petrol to Nigeria, I can go to Egypt. I can go to Niger. I can go to Sweden. I can go to any part of the world and bring the 1 million liters to Nigeria. So when I begin to calculate the cost of bringing it to Nigeria, and I realize that if I have to sell it to any of you in Nigeria, I can only sell it to make profit and cover all my costs. Inflation and this degenerating naira. I can only sell it to you for 900 naira per liter. That's my business. Abi, another person can go to anywhere and come around and say, he will only sell his own for 400 naira per liter. So quality check and all of that is on the government. The choice of where you buy from is yours. So if your government says we are not giving that money to them anymore, you want to use that money on something else, in all honesty, it would have been the best idea, but it's a lie. It is a lie. Because they remove fuel subsidy. Then they remove subsidy from fuel, as they told you. They now put the subsidy on dollars so that their friends can access dollars cheaper. Not you, businessmen and women. Not me, that want to go to anywhere and buy the fuel. I'm not their friend. If I want to buy the dollar to bring fuel to Nigeria, I would have to pay the market exchange for dollar. What is market exchange for dollar? 925 naira to a dollar. That's how much I'll pay. Because I'm not their friend. But their friend would have to go and collect $1 for maybe 300 naira per dollar. Maybe 200 naira per dollar. Nigeria will bear the cost. So where is the dollar coming from? Is it from the sale of the crude oil? Or from where? We have no idea before until NNPC decided to rescue Nigeria. They decided to go and borrow money. NNPC, after they did all of the stealing of crude oil, that nobody knows how much exactly did Nigeria make from crude oil between 2015 and 2023. Can Thiefnubu's government tell Nigerians? I mean, if you really want to be honest, if you are indeed, you want to help them, you need to tell them the truth. You need to tell them who are those who are keeping their money. You are not keeping it, Abi, and you have no intention of doing so. Nah, I'm asking for too much, Abi. NNPC got sold. I have never seen anything like this in my life. NNPC, like Saudi, what do they call Saudi National Oil Company? Aramco. What do you call the Russian oil national oil company? What do you call them? They have a name. Hey, you help me anyway. Nigeria's national petroleum is NNPC. Everybody who is in NNPC in Nigeria, they are civil servants, yo. They are civil servants like Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Information, all these people, they are civil servants, Nigeria civil servants, Russian National Oil Company, Gazprom, God bless you. So it's like, oil and gas is one of the main economic booster for Russia, forex earner for them. And they will never allow that to go into the wrong hands. In Nigeria, under Bokwari, after, what they did do? NNPC. NNPC was supposed to monitor the sale of Nigeria crude oil, ensure that Nigeria is never cheated. Nigerians are not cheated. The interest of Nigeria comes first. They work for government of Nigeria. But guess what? They work against Nigerians. And they continue to do so. With so much impunity, audacity. And then you begin to ask, are Nigerians really, really, really smart? Or we are actually so dumb? Or is it that the number of dumb people, maybe not dumb, oppressed, and broken people. Maybe we are actually broken people because this doesn't make any sense. Government institution paid, government staff paid for by Nigerian taxpayers. They suddenly, overnight, after robbing Nigerians for years, Nigerians have no idea of how much of their crude oil is being pumped, how much is being sold, to who and for how much, and what is the money being used for. They have no idea. But we woke up one morning, they have sold an NPC. How much did you sell an NPC? How much? And paid to who? I don't understand. Nigeria lost trillions, hundreds of trillions of naira, hundreds of billions of dollars to these fraudsters. Poverty skyrocketed in Nigeria. Unemployment skyrocketed in Nigeria. Terrorism skyrocketed in Nigeria. Crime at the highest that we've ever seen in Nigeria, because some minute number of people were able to capture the national resources of the country, the national wealth of a country, and they had the audacity, after that so much depletion, they sold it off for free. To who? And having sold an NPC, having removed subsidy, which means Nigeria can no longer pay it. NPC no longer represents Nigeria. It now represents the interest of some investors, some business people who are there to make profit. So why would an NPC go and borrow money to rescue Nigeria Naira? $3 billion on behalf of Nigeria. And they will give crude oil to that people who gave them the money. So they handed over the $3 billion cash to the Central Bank of Nigeria so as to control the free fall of Naira. Have you ever thought about that? Watching me right now that I've just told you. Who does that? Who does this amount of fraud on a population of 200 million people? And people are currently they have no idea. And the same NPC is coming to talk about the price of petrol. No, it will never go up. Oh, it will never be this. Who the hell are you? You no longer should have a say here if you have been truly privatized. But they did that. And the NNPC that is privatized under Bukwari has joined the league of those who are secretly trying to further dip Nigeria in, well, the abyss of nothingness. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. No. That is not economic recovery. Everything else doesn't make sense. Nigeria, the capital of unemployed people in the world, woke up one morning without doing anything. And they said Nigeria has no unemployment problem anymore. In fact, Nigeria is fully employed. Like how? How? Is that the economic recovery? Right. I should just let you see this a bit before we continue, okay? Kolu was... So, again, before I go into this, another plan to recover the economy of Nigeria. When Emefiele did all of his abracadabra, looting and stealing with Bukwari and the rest of them, they decided to launch an app. And they called it e-Naira. They targeted us in the diaspora. We, the people that have been rescuing Nigeria since these unfortunate beings have infected Nigeria. We have been rescuing Nigeria with our remittances. But we have no say. They say we don't have a say in what goes on in Nigeria. We should mind our businesses. We should stay wherever we are. We should mind whatever is going on. But when we go back to Nigeria, we become the victims of a ruined country by ruinous ruiners called rulers. We become victims of a poor health care system. We become victims of the high and increasing crime. We become victims of kidnapping. We become victims of terrorism. We become victims of so many unfortunate things that are befalling Nigeria, courtesy of these failed criminals that you called leaders. We don't have a say, but they continue to target us. They wanted a bite of that money that we send back to Nigeria. They love that. They love the smell of that pound sterling, the smell of that American dollars, Canadian dollars, even the Saudi riyal. And all those money, because when they all entered Nigeria, they enter with so much arrogance. When dollar enter Nigeria, now like this, they work. When pound sterling enter Nigeria, now like this, they work. Most of these currencies around the world, they always humble the naira. And you see the naira there and say, you're welcome. You're welcome, sir. You're welcome, ma. You're welcome, sir. You're welcome, ma. The naira has become so humbled that the difference between Nigerian naira and the Zimbabwe dollar, the only difference is just the wheelbarrow that people use this in conveying, or should I say, it's just what you use in conveying that your naira or that your currency. That's the difference right now, almost valueless because of these guys. E-naira. E-naira is all lies. E-naira to help to boost naira is all lies. You cannot boost naira, okay, by not investing in the economy for real, okay? If you don't invest in the real Nigerians, if you don't invest that every money you have in the real economy of Nigeria, not in the pocket and private pocket of your friends and your lackeys, there is no amount of all this arrangement of let us work together and boost the naira that will ever work. It's not real. It's not real. Majority of the money we send back to Nigeria are money that goes into paying for serviceables, for services. People want to eat. They want to pay rent. They want to pay medical bill. They want to pay school fees. They want to do this. They want to do that. And then those who are actually like putting structure in like projects in Nigeria. But majority of the money we send back to Nigeria goes into paying for serviceables. They are not money that will, in fact, boost the economy of Nigeria. Our money is only rescuing Nigerians. The money we send to Nigeria. The real investment in the people in Nigeria starts with the right policies that are not laced with criminality like this. You took $890 million. You share the money. You want to share the money to people to take them out of poverty by giving them 80,000 naira, 10,000 naira. Bokwari was sharing 500 billion naira every year. They were not even bold to say to all of you that they were budgeting for a single ministry over 500 billion naira, money that was going into their different pockets. And yet, instead of poverty to end, poverty skyrocketed in Nigeria. You don't buy your way out of poverty. You can't. So now, when the e-naira, no fly, I told you, I said e-naira is all lies. They want to control that money. They want to control that forex. 36 billion every year. No be jokey. The money we give to Nigeria every year, we in the diaspora, is like times 10 of how much money you generate from the crude oil. Should I say that again? Because the majority of the money from your crude oil, they go straight into the pocket of these criminals. They don't come to Nigeria. This Nigeria could not confidently tell all of you that they made $10 billion from sale of crude oil in Nigeria in a year because they've depleted the whole thing. But Nigerians in diaspora, myself inclusive, right? We remit over $36 billion to Nigeria over $36 billion from around the world to rescue and feed Nigeria and Nigerians to keep the economy running. They couldn't do that. When they took loans, infrastructural projects that could actually change lives, they never invested in them. They only used them as collateral of taking these loans, this money, and then they had no intention of having them work for you. How many times would they tell you that the Kaduna Abuja train is going to start operation? How many times? How many times have they told you the Lagos Blue Line is going to start operation? How many times did they commission them? How many times have they told you that they've completed Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, East-West Road? How many times have they told you Ajaokuta Steel Mill roars back to life? How many times? All these are just pure conduit pipe of fleecing and then stealing from you, all of us. So Thiefnubu is doing the same thing, and they are not even being honest. So when you know that they are not honest, they are not telling you the old truth, that's enough for you never to believe any jargons that they say. I don't. I'll show you something inside the Assholerock villa.
Chairman of the Nigerian Economic Summit Group, Olani Isu, before all other members here present, I say thank you very much for your patience, for your support, for your encouragement in every way possible. The twists and turns is always going to be there in any democratic journey. And the economic turbulence that we ran into is not without silver lining. We believe in the courage of both endeavors. And they can only be driven by a serious collaboration with the private sector and the public sector. Strong adherence to accountability and transparency in every way possible. We have gone through the past.
I don't want to traumatize you for too much, okay? But I was calling talking about we have to do things transparently. They are not going to do anything transparently. Under him, I remember, under Bokuwari, at a point, these guys, apart from them developing different kind of ways to steal your money from your bank account, different taxes and all of that to steal your money. They were doing all of those, and they were able to raise a lot of money fraudulently because they could. They are the central bank. They are the law. They are the policy makers. So they were fleecing Nigerians through that. Then when they were done, they started looking at the pensioners, and it is called the pension fund. And they felt like, okay, hang on, we need money. Since we need money, why don't we just borrow from the 21 trillion pension fund? You know, Nigeria, where you see all the pensioners suffering and all that, because their own gratuities are not paid or their pensions are not paid, Abby. It may feel contemplated off. Well, we could just borrow like maybe 10 trillion from the money, and then we can raise a bond. Bond is that they will just say, all of you, come and buy. I mean, we want you to come and buy, let's say, 10 trillion naira worth of bond. Okay? We'll give you the money in a year. If you buy the shares, if you buy that bond, you don't worry about what we do with the money. Just give us the money. So in a year time, okay, we are going to put so amount back. So if you put in 100 naira, you're likely going to get 125 naira. The more you put in that bond, So what they did was that, okay, we wanted to go and take 10 trillion. So to make the pensioners feel like, no, your money is not gone, no, we are not, no, your money is fine. What we are trying to do is that just to assure the people that we'll give them the money back if they raise 10 trillion for us. That's why I want to tell them that there is a 21 trillion in an account, pension fund. So we want to use part of it, okay? That we want to guarantee them that they will get their money back, okay? Meanwhile, we are not going to use your money. We have another money we are going to use, but we need to take this 10 trillion. They shall put all of this economic scam together. A way of, okay, quick cash, let's get quick cash, let's get quick cash. Emefiole did that. Then at a point when they were done, they were, Ewa, do you know that there is more than 11 trillion naira inside some dormant accounts, dead people's accounts? That's what they said. They said some dead people in Nigeria who left money in their banks and they've not touched that money for years. So their accounts are dormant. Nobody came to collect the money. There is some hidden 11 trillion there all over the banks in Nigeria. So the Central Bank of Nigeria was like, since the owners are dead or they are no longer in Nigeria, maybe we should just take the money. That's what they said, though. So they started contemplating which kind of policy are we going to call it so that every dormant account in Nigeria, we can take all the money and spend it. Like ridiculous, yeah? It's like somebody having your own card pin, your cash card pin. And then they just feel like, and they know your card number, and they feel like, for the past 3 months, you have not spent a dime from your bank account through your card. Does that mean that you don't even have the card anymore? Maybe you don't use it or you don't even care any? Let me just, let me go and take 10,000 naira from that account. Maybe you will not notice. And if you notice, I'll just tell you that I'll give you back. Okay? It's just for now, since you're not using it. That's what Central Bank of Nigeria was doing. I can't really tell you if they were able to succeed to take money from those dormant accounts. Before I left Nigeria 11 years ago, Baba, I remember I had a bank account, Diamond Bank. I've been an Access Bank, So from this Diamond Bank account of mine, I remember I left 15,000 naira or so inside that account. And up to this day, the account is probably dead and my 15,000 naira gone. Now, if you have about 10, 15, 20 million Nigerians who have left Nigeria in the last 10 years, and a lot of you who have money in your bank account, or some of you who are abroad, who are sending money into your bank account in Nigeria, okay, for a long time, and you've not had a chance of going to Nigeria, I know all of you have different stories of how your money has sort of depleted or even gone completely. Now, that's also another policy of Thiefnubu right now. They are looking into the dormant accounts. Those money cannot be there. And Nigeria will be suffering. Nigeria will be broke. So they will need to they will need to use your money for the sake of national development. Another policy of Boko Haram that didn't probably get completed is now receiving an attention under Thiefnubu. They are looking into it. They are also looking into all of us again in diaspora. Inira didn't work. The Inira app that they put together to collect money. They were even wanted to bribe us. They said, don't send your money through those people we send money through anymore. Don't send the money through them. Come and send the money through the central bank app, Inira app. And in fact, if you do that, we are going to give you 500 naira for every 100 pounds sterling you send. Every $100 you send to your family members, send them through us so that they can give your family members naira and they can keep your pound sterling. They can keep your dollars. And by so doing, they will be able to mop up enough foreign exchange. The ones that they allowed their friends, the one they couldn't get from the crude oil, that they have handed over to their friends who are making hell of billions of dollars from Nigeria Baba, even you, where they watch me right now, who think you have never been, you can never be Bill Gates. You can never be Elon Musk. You can never be Dangote. Even if not just one month. 1 month for you. Okay, Shaka shall supply 1 month. If not just 1 month supply, last song, that you should be taking 100,000 crude oil of Nigeria, free of charge. Go and sell it to wherever you can sell it to every day. 100,000 every day. 1 million every 10 days. 3 million barrel of crude oil every month. Just 1 month, they give you 3 million barrel of Nigeria crude oil. Go and sell it at $50 per barrel. Baba, you are already a billionaire. By the time they pay you your millions in dollars, Baba, you are already a billionaire. So Nigeria had no money from its own main forex earner, crude oil. So they decided to come and target all of us. The 21st century, what do you call, sorry, if you feel bad about this, I don't. Okay? We are the 21st century slaves. Okay? That are now earning money for those who have enslaved our people back in Nigeria. And those of us, they couldn't enslave in Nigeria. We are now kind of economically sold out to our colonizers. Whatever money, whatever success, whatever riches or wealth we come across abroad, they believe that we'll bring them back to Nigeria. Do you understand? We are the ones who are now earning. So they are targeting us. If the crude oil cannot give them the dollars, you and I will give them the dollars. So if all of us can come together as the 21st century slaves that are now earning forex for Nigeria, $36 billion is not small money. Yes, send the money. Send the 20% of that money through us. We know the money is still coming here, but we want the cash. You want the whole raw cash of that money. Don't send it to your family members like that anymore. Send them through us. We'll give them the naira. Give us the money. That's the policy. We are the target. We are the cash cow. Sure, you know, diasporans. But they will never even be bold enough. Bunch of criminals, bunch of cowards. They will not be bold enough to even acknowledge that and say, diasporans has been saving Nigeria since this unfortunate epidemic befell Nigeria. The criminals, the ruinous criminals in Nigeria. So they're targeting us. Thiefnubu is targeting us again as well. They want the diasporans to send the money through them to revive the economy of Nigeria. Don't send your money the way you do anymore. Send it through the central bank. Send it through the government app. You are the future of Nigeria. The recovery of Nigeria depends on you. You will begin to see the messages soon. They're going to go abroad. They're going to come around here and talk to some of you who are going to help them organize the town hall meetings to come and lie to your people. Yeah, but it won't work. Sure you get. It's the era of do as I say, not as I do, is gone. People are more enlightened now, and nobody is going to help a roguish, illegitimate government, by the way. That is the economic recovery of Thiefnubu. So if you are looking and waiting for it, their recovery is to recover the economy of their friends, not yours. And they will do so with boldness and lies. I'll take a small break before I continue. Ladies and gentlemen, when this guy said swearing in Thiefnubu is the end of democracy in Nigeria, this month of September, the tribunal in Nigeria will give a ruling on the charade you called election in 2023. But these words,
calls of the people violating the constitution, let them even go ahead, even if they swear in Tinubu Shetima on 29th of May. They are swearing in an unconstitutional government. Nothing will change it. I am not a careless, reckless speaker. I am working with the constitution there, that document right you just read. I'm following it. And I dare to tell you that swearing in Tinubu and Shetima is as good as swearing in the Nigerian army on 29th of May. If you swear in people that have not satisfied the requirement, you have by so doing ended democracy. The crisis I'm telling you now is that this our democracy is going to end. By the way we are going, this democracy is going to end on the 29th of May, 2023. Please write it.
Those are extreme,
you know my
those
name.
Are extreme thoughts.
I am very, very happy to say it. You know my name. You introduced me.
Yeah.
Listen, don't stop me.
No. I will, because those are extreme thoughts. You know why? Because there are allowable language to be used on television, especially as it relates to our nation and the unity of this country.
Put your question and let me answer you. Put your question. I know what I'm saying.
If there is an official...
If you breach the Constitution...
But is it not left to the court to decide otherwise?
This is already decided by the courts.
But the authority in charge of election gave a declaration.
If you are afraid for some things, don't ask for them.
I am not afraid. I will, as a citizen of the country, by the ethics and the guidelines of my profession, live by it.
Yes.
What is lawful? And I hope that you're a lawful citizen of the country. And so whatever the stipulation of the law guides, that if you are aggrieved about something, you go to the court to seek redress, isn't it?
This document is a product of the legal system. It has been signed into law by the President, Commander-in-Chief, Federal Republic of Nigeria. I believe in this document. That is why I'm so lawful. That is why I'm so confident. And that is why however extreme it is, Sheung, I am saying it on national TV. I don't like to take risks. I'm not taking any risks. Swearing in a ticket that has not met the constitutional requirements of the Constitution, okay, is ending democracy. Quote me on it.
That's your interpretation.
That is my interpretation, and that is indeed a correct interpretation. You cannot swear people who have not met the constitutional requirement. You can't do that. If you did it, you have done something unlawful, something unconstitutional. And I'm repeating it. Whoever does not meet the constitutional requirement must never be sworn in. You said my name. If you like, I can say it again. I'm Dr. Bawa Ahmed. I'm not taking risks with my safety and with my life. But I'm repeating, swear in anybody who does not meet the constitutional requirements of our country. You are engaging in an unconstitutional act. Mr. President, do not hold that inauguration. CJ and your lordship, do not partake in unconstitutionality. I am taking these risks for the sake of my country. Yes, it is extreme, and I'm saying it. It was more extreme for Yakubu to issue that certificate. It was reckless. He is putting all our lives in danger. All of us. We're already at risk. So what is there again in me taking risks again? What have they not done against Nigeria? What have they not abused in Nigeria? Now they'll take the Constitution where it is clear, it says, and get 24. After that, and FCT. They fail to get it. They are going to swear this man in, and I should be afraid? I will not be. I'm telling you that on the 29th of May, 2023, swear in Tinubu as this result is, you have ended democracy, whoever you are.
Scary stuff, yeah? They have inaugurated Thiefnubu. So somebody like Dati Baba Ahmed, democracy is already dead. From the May 29th, 2023. But this month, the judiciary will begin the burial of that democracy. I'm putting my money on that. Even though I shouldn't encourage you to bet, it doesn't serve any real purpose there than just kind of ego massaging, I would say. Or if it is something that is just to kind of prove a point as well, you should put your money on it. They will bury that democracy. Finally. This month. In another 14 days, in 2 weeks' time, this whole thing will begin to manifest. However, talking about burying democracy and everything that follows it after the illegitimate Thiefnubu and his own 46 thieves who have now settled down and begin to talk like just like the way they are expected to. talking nonsense, making, you know, useless assertions, promises that, you know, and passing blames as well, like it has already started. But if what they did in Nigeria lasted this long, then what happened in other places where those democracies are already completely dead now? Especially the recent one in Gabon. Or Gabon. So, I came across a clip which the later confirmed. Okay? But I'll start with this. That when the whole show, like, I think I actually mentioned that yeah, I did mention that the last time, that we've seen that of Niger in July. We've seen Gabon in August. Whose turn is it going to be in September? Because this might be a regular thing now. If you must, you know, kind of be in tune with all that's happening right now, yeah? I'll play you this from Faou Léché. So Faou Léché is a friend of Wike. But somehow, as usual, he dropped this subtle. In his own statement, he supports the coup in Niger. I mean, he supports the coup in Gabon. And same way, a lot of them, if they have a chance, they will tell you that they will support, well, actually, he actually supports the civilian coup in Nigeria too. But in his words,
I am very happy with what happened in Gabon. I don't like military incursion in politics. But I want to say to you, Nigeria is different because Nigeria, we have reasonably stabilized the democracy. You might have our flaws. Remember that now in Nigeria, you can see uninterrupted democratic process. You can see that we know after 4 years there will be an election. From Nigeria has gone from one party to another party, one person to another person in space of time. But in a country where one man is spending 30 years, 20 years, 40, they must boot him out of the place. Whichever way, that's different from Nigeria's setting. Nigeria, we have submitted, but we are not there yet in the final order. But again, Nigeria is a 200 million population. Gabon is 2.5. It is even more than Gabon. The military coming in should equally allow a process, a transition, possible shortest transition.
That's why he's telling himself. And I bet you, one of the things they are telling themselves is that Niger, what's the population of Niger? 20 million, I'll be 22 million. What's the population of Burkina Faso? What's the population of Gabon? 2.4 million. No, those things cannot happen here. What will happen in Nigeria will shock a lot of us, including me, we sit down here. That's why I say, I hope they will continue exactly what they are doing. I don't hope that somebody somewhere will make them begin to do the right thing. I have seen them already doing exactly what I expected them to do, which will lead all of us to that state. But then we'll see this Faou Léché. He's very good in running away anyway. He's very smart in running away. And before you know it, even if na Togo, Faou Léché will find his way there, out of Nigeria, when the rain begins to pour, right? The Nigerian Bar Association has been accused of twerking to Thiefnubu. Even on this platform, we have proved that. But there are some things that sometimes you would love to hear directly from the people involved. Sure, you know, people like those who are in charge of decision makings, deal makings, and possibly money. Treasurers, accountants, I'll be waiting to call them auditors and all those stuff, including the president. So they had their NBA annual general meeting, which has been reported the worst ever. And they invited the Thiefnubu. They went there and did all his bala, bulu bala, and the rest of all those nonsense, jargons that you can't really relate with. And they were so happy that, oh yeah, he did and all that. However, it was the same Thiefnubu and APC that actually like ignored the supposed compromised NBA. They won't dance to the tune of the script of APC during the charade elections, right? There is more. Okay. The guy that has become the twerker in Thief for Thiefnubu, the guy in charge of the NBA at their own national annual general meeting, rather. Somebody had this to share. When we listen to them together, the fraud, the scam, the corrupt association called the NBA, led by another jihadist from northern Nigeria. Those who sanctimonizes on something about morality, religion, respect, and other nonsense that they kind of love to spew. As a gang of criminals in Gbogbo. There's no institution, there is no organization that seems to be spared when it comes to Nigerians, a corrupt system. Even the NBA, lawyers are liars, they say.
Statements and the treasurer's reports as obtainable in the bundle was put together, was arrived at without my singular involvement, without consultation with the office. And I'm not going to disrespect you and stand here and give a report that did not originate from me. I'm sorry. I respect you too much to do that. Section 9, subsection 5G provides that the treasurer shall cause to be prepared or shall prepare all the financial statements to be presented. Financial statements were put together and brought to me. I have refused to sign them. I will not sign them. I was not involved in the preparation. I was not involved. I was not informed. The 10% remuneration remittances to branches were given without my knowledge, without my involvement in any way. And I have complained severally on the 15th day of August 2023 at the National Executive Committee meeting in the presence of every national officer seated here. The president brought down a sledgehammer on me and said he does not require to consult or get the consent of my office to be able to run the financial affairs of this association. He said that in an expo meeting. I therefore think that if that is the path he has decided to take respectfully, then I am not the fit and proper person to stand before you and sign any financial document or stand here and give you a financial report. The NBA treasurer is not a member of the TCCB. The NBA treasurer is not a member of the finance committee. The NBA treasurer is not a member of the stabilization fund committee or any committee that has to do with the finances of the organization. How do I do my job? Financial memos are not routed through my office. They are routed through the office of the secretary, and the president approves. I have severally mentioned this. The president, the GS in his wisdom, I want to believe, decided to put an apostrophe and make sure that memos are routed to the secretary stroke, the treasurer, as if the office of the treasurer is a subset of the office of the GS or the president. I was elected by you all, and I promised under oath to do my best and to give you the best. And should you give me a further platform, I will serve you, but I will do so truthfully. It does not align with my...
Somebody just came out and she was just going like with double barrel guns, like everybody just collect there, and all the national execos were there, corrupt establishments, you know. But you know, Nigerians are also corrupt, Abi, very corrupted people. They are also blaming her. What is wrong with her? Is it because they don't pay, they don't share the money with her? If they have been sharing the money with her, will she be complaining? Because it's so easy. Especially when I know a lot of you are actually waiting for your turn. But it's not all of us that are waiting for the turn to be part of this madness. There are actually people, a lot of people, that if they have a chance of ending all of these things, if they have that grabbing chance, they would, but not this way anyway. Then they brought in Portable. That one can they climb everywhere. They climb everywhere. Which kind which kind Nigerian Bar Association National Annual General Meeting be this story alone? Portable with lawyers. Anyway, that was at the NBA. The supposed people who were supposed to maybe keep the laws a little bit active, you say, make laws legal. Those are the people who practices laws in Nigeria. And you begin to say, have you ever asked yourselves that, why are you even reading law? Why are you studying law in Nigeria? You're studying law in a place where lawless criminals are in charge. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, people still have to study law because, I mean, you still have to put somebody up and say, this is my lawyer. They say, okay, is that your lawyer or your liar? No, this is my liar. No, is that your lawyer or your liar? Say, this is my both, my lawyer and my liar. I say, hey, now you are talking. So yeah, Mr. Lawyer. Nigeria, no morality, no nothing. It's just about anything, where anything goes. And it's time for a lot of you to begin to speak out instead of you to say, well, Baba, that's how they do. It's just so bad. It's a terrible situation. And the rest of all of that anyway. So yeah, going a little bit forward. I have just about 20 minutes before I will bring you to that segment of the Yoruba Union, all right? Where I'm going to have a princess and others here with me tonight. But just while we were talking about oil theft in Nigeria earlier, we were talking about the Niger Delta. Would you even think it that those who are stealing crude oil are also stealing crude oil through the water of Lagos too? They found these ones at Lekki in Lagos.
Come on, Auntie Beko, Abi. Auntie Beko. Ṣé kí n tọ́ fi wà, Abi?
Ó máa yọ níbi kan tó ń bá wọlé, ó máa padà jáde.
Okay. Ara nǹkan tí mo ń sọ fún nìyẹn. All right, ó dáa.
They found them with GP tank in Nigeria. GP tank. People, they have this wooden canoe. And they put GP tank. Baba, GP tank that they put for upstairs for water. They turn the wooden canoe to oil vessel. But what I don't understand is, how did they find themselves to Lagos? Did they go to the Lagos offshore on that sea to go and steal some already refined oil? Or is that crude oil? I don't know. Nigeria. I mean, like, I don't even know where they want to start. I think it all should start from being honest. And everything else which kind of fall in place. But you can easily tell that these criminals are lying and all of that. So everywhere is just going to be like, what you have right now. You know, greed, selfishness. I mean, it's sort of a breeding ground. Breeding ground for all kinds of criminality, and all of them are against the progress and development of the generality of all of us, against us. But they are there to do them. It's just because, you know, Nigeria is a crime scene. Nobody really get punished for all these crimes, these high crimes. I mean, because those behind them, those who have the capacity of doing them, sponsoring them or taking it from them, they are the same people who are supposed to stop them. And you'll think, it will be like this guy, like all this initial gra-gra, one of a minister, this one a minister of interior. Imagine your minister of interior talking like this. You know, go to say, hey, action, action.
Getting Nigerian passports.
Nobody should come and use agreement or whatever as a booby trap. If you are ready to sit up, good. If you are not sitting up, then you get out. It's as simple as that. It is unacceptable. And I'm unapologetic about it. I'm very passionate about it. It is unacceptable for Nigerians to wait for months to get passport. For anybody that is interested in passport and can afford it, it's a right, not a privilege.
IGG. Initial gra-gra. IGG. Initial gra-gra. They are always like that. Initial gra-gra. But when you hear that, you'll be like, hey, that's what we are saying. You know, like people with action. We need people with action. You know? And it's giving you action. Just give them time till when they need to start taking responsibility for their actions. Then they'll begin to say, it's not me. I wanted to, it was these people. Corruption, fighting, or Nigerians are impatient. Nigerians are ungrateful people. They will soon start abusing you, like Bokwari people. They will soon start abusing you. Now I know the girl, you know, get sense. Any small thing you complain. Do you know how much work we have done? Do you know what Thiefnubu is not sleeping because of all of you? He's always thinking of how to make your life better, work for you, and the rest of that. Like this one.
Nigerian Economic Development Group will not be if you don't believe in being one team that can bring Nigeria to the land of promise. But we must kill our advantages in the economic path. We must kill it. No matter how big the tablet or the medication is, take it and move on to build the path for tomorrow for Nigeria. The renewable agenda is a commitment that we are not going to shy away from. When hope is gone, every other thing is out. But as long as you can believe that hope and believe in yourself, collaborate with others, you'll find that we can all succeed together. And that is what I'm all about. You know, you see the caricature of democracy and the problem of retired leadership in the continent, and yes, democracy is challenged, so what? It's managed by the people, only for the people. I must be by the people. So, and with that comes the freedom that must be associated with our economic opportunity. If the grass is green on my backyard, I want to expand it. I want to cultivate. and turn my house a breeding and milking dairy farm for export and yogurt.
I promise I didn't mean to kind of traumatize you that much. I just wanted him to say that you need to taste the bitter pill. So he said Nigerians must be willing to taste the bitter pill. And that bitter pill is that Nigeria is going through a tough time right now. And you need to give him time. Okay? Like Bokwari also asked. Well, I'll leave it at that for now. While I kind of, I was going to share with you Modu Sheriff, what he had to say, but I don't think it probably matters anymore. And then the same thing with Yari, one of the owners of the mining village or mining local government, where they are mining gold in Zamfara. One of the thieves that ruled Zamfara, and he's currently a senator. He was almost a Senate president as well. So this is him talking about security and insecurity in Nigeria, and he's advised Thiefnubu and all this nonsense. Anyway, but just few minutes. Then after this clip, I am going to remember that a few days ago we tried to have Mr. Lukman here, the beneficiary of the Yoruba Union support program, a double amputee who lost his 2 legs to this sad, what should I call it? This terrible, it's not an accident, by the way, just an illness or what have you. And he lost his 2 legs. So it's going to be with us tonight. We couldn't do it the last time. And I hope we'll be able to do that conversation tonight, okay? And we're also going to be raising enough fund tonight as well. Starting from tonight, by the way, maybe not tonight, but starting from tonight, if everything goes well, we will raise enough fund that is expected to be channeled towards his rehabilitation. We are talking about having a way to help him and set him up than for us to be handing him a handout by the union. So you're going to have to spend that evening with me at that point. But Yari, Thiefnubu's friend, discussing insecurity and how to fight it. The one that came after him, who also became a part owner of the mining field in Zamfara, Matawale, is a minister today, Minister of Defense for states. So when the terrorists come around to talk about insecurity and how to end it, of course, you know they are not telling you the truth. But for the sake of it, for all it's worth.
Will take over from that government who are the same party with. So therefore, I came in and we discussed and wish him well, and we pray Almighty God to guide him and give him the wisdom to lead the Nigeria right for all betterment. You see, the problem in Nigeria is vast problem, and not only Nigeria, it's the leadership problem. In Nigeria, or in this part of the world, who didn't have a kind of continuity, a kind of program in place. In developed nations, whosoever came, whether from your party or not from your party, already there is a kind of queue-up activity that's in place that you only continue maybe with a little amendment or bringing a new policy. So what I will advise, or I will continue to advise, is we know the problem. And the most important, where does this also stopped, and then where he is going to continue, and came with some, as we can see, some more or some changes that are put in place. Some of the decisions that become difficult to be taken in those days because of one reason or the other, it has been taken, which is in line with the intention of the past government to take that decision, but because of each and every king has his own way to rule. So that when, producer, let me talk of the issue of subsidy. So this issue of subsidy is becomes something since Obasanjo's time, down to Adua, down to Jonathan, down to Muhammad Buhari. They are looking how are we going to do away with the issue of subsidy. But because we, in the main problem, we know what it is. We know the trouble that is in, and we know the suspicion that we have in when we talk of issue of corruption, what is there in. You cannot ascertain, you cannot say the numbers. So what is the best for us? How can we keep it aside and then we move forward? Because if you did not, the issue will remain as it is and the problem will remain as it is, and we need more and more resources.
Why is it a problem to tell Nigerians, the marketers and the companies that are the suppliers of petrol to NNPC Nigeria, and how much you are paying them? Okay? Probe them, probe their... I mean, make them public enough to say, this is how the people we pay, though. This is how much we pay them. But it's a lie. We put it aside. We put it aside. We put it... all those nonsense. Anyway, I told you, he's a criminal. He has so much money. That guy was two-time governor of Zamfara State. Before this jihadist and others got the wind of illegal minefield in Zamfara. This guy has been stealing and getting whatever they can get as gold in Zamfara. He has so much money. And for 8 years, like most of all these Nigerian state governors as well, for 8 years, every penny that is accrued to that state went straight to his pocket. He paid those he could pay, and other workers who couldn't get paid. That's their problems. Do you understand? He has so much money. He's being investigated by the EFCC for embezzlement, corruption, and then mismanagement. But who's going to touch him? Like many others. His own successor, Matawale, is under investigation for stealing over 107 billion naira from that small Zamfara state. He's a minister today, my brother.
Man, see there for jail. Politician way in the probe don't enter for power. EFCC chairman, still there for jail. Politician way in the probe don't enter for power. EFCC chairman, still there for jail. Politician way in the probe don't enter for power. EFCC chairman, still there for jail. Politician way in the probe don't enter for power. If you do government work, you go carry him for head, you. Maka one day, I got Bokwagi, Mama. In another government, you hear why one day more, one day, I got Boggy, Mama. Yes, the German, no there for jail. Politician, way man, see there for jail.
Politician way they put down enter for power. EFCC chap. About that's the full story. That tells the whole story. Now we are now going to the Yoruba Union Hour. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a segment where we're going to be speaking Yoruba. It is a special segment, okay, dedicated to the Yoruba Union course. So if you don't understand Yoruba, you may just read the comments, okay? But if you have to go, then that's fine. Please, I am going to try to advise us that I know it can be a little bit inconvenient for some of you because you feel like you are missing out. But please, after having said this, letting you know that we are switching to Yoruba now, and the purpose of why we are doing that. Don't start jumping into the comment section and start saying, well, you should speak in English. Mayegun tell them to speak in English. That would be a little bit insulting. Do you understand? I mean, I've kind of given you that notice, you will say. And I've also kind of advised that if it is going to be so inconvenient, uncomfortable for you, missing out, at this point, the tonight's broadcast on the updates has come to an end. I am switching straight to another segment of this program tonight, and we are going to speak Yoruba 100%. So if you turn around and begin to say, am I going to speak? I mean, you cannot be speaking Yoruba on this platform. Your viewers are, there are, I mean, many of your viewers that don't understand Yoruba. That would be an insult. I hope you understand. It would be an insult for you to turn around and begin to tell me to speak in English because of you. I wish I could. All right? But to understand better, I would advise you to read the comments, or I'll see you again. Do you understand? Please, I want you to respect that. And it's such a pleasure if you cannot be part of this too. Because there is more that this platform does than just discuss the politics. Okay? This particular platform that you are on today, in the last 10 years alone, or should I say, in this past 2 years alone, this platform has raised over 100 million naira to support people who have become victims of a failed Nigeria. This platform has stood up with the collaboration of a lot of us here, stood up for people we don't know, never met, and may never meet. But how did we know them? It is because we can identify those who have become the victims of the establishment, and of those that we can share this same victimhood with, give support to, legal support, financial support, mental health support, and so many other supports that we have offered. And on that note, one day, the members of this platform, the Yorubas, they made a kind of a request that I had to allude to. And that request was that we needed an umbrella body, a body that can drive the vision, the message, and the purpose of why this platform even exists, which happened to be to explain to every one of us as Nigerians, from wherever you are, all over the world, wherever you choose, wherever you believe in, that if your love for Nigeria is to keep Nigeria one, for the existence sake, to keep Nigeria one, for its big size sake, without considering the hemorrhaging, the victims, the ruinous, the people that have been ruined, which comes from every part of Nigeria, by the way. That doesn't kind of look like you wish Nigeria well. So this platform, therefore, as Mayegun, a Yoruba man, if I am told to carry my cross, ladies and gentlemen, when Nigeria finally collapses, I will look through the rumble and I will pick a cross that is boldly written, Yoruba Nation. I will be boldly there, confidently, happily, and patriotically. So on this platform, people chose that we will start a union called Yoruba Union, a clean, clear, ideological-based organization, right? That helps people, not just by helping them physically, supporting them mentally, making them understand that whatever they are going through in Nigeria today is not coincidence. It's not by their sin or whatever they have been told. It's not their village people. It's because of their existence and being part of Nigeria of today, which if it continues that way, a lot of us will end up like many of those we are kind of helping too. We do that. We've been doing that all this while. So on this platform, we don't just talk about the problems. We do our best with the little resources we have to delve into the heart of the problems and see how much of that, like a tumor of a cancer, that we can uproot from our system, but we have so little resources. But we are grateful to those who have stood by us all this while. And I've told people, when it comes to the Yoruba Union, we are not in competition with anybody. We are not in competition, and we are not here to earn anybody's kind of accolade, like, oh, we need it, we're so desperate for it. We are here to touch lives. The lives of those that have become the victims of a failed Nigeria. We want to touch their lives and make them realize that if they have been making a choice in keeping Nigeria for what Nigeria is, they should begin to review their choices. That's our message, the Yoruba Union. And like I said, there are great men and women who have made this a call. So we came across a young man, like many other people we have come across, Lukman. Now, Mr. Lukman, who suffered what I will have them tell us soon, and he lost his 2 legs. I mean, you can imagine what that is in Nigeria. He was just waiting to die. Then somebody told him about the Yoruba Union and what we are likely going to be able to do. So we met with him. This was just about 2 or so months ago. Mr. Lukman. Just a moment.
Oni wéròyìn bóyá bí few weeks ago ni wọ́n lọ́rẹ́ mi kan sọ̀rọ̀ wọn létí mi wípé ni wọ́n nílò ìrànlọ́wọ́. Mo ti rò pé nǹkan kékeré ni nǹkan tí wọ́n pè mí fún, but to my surprise ìgbà tí màá dé ọ̀dọ̀ wọn asunkún kúrò ńbẹ̀ ni, because ìyàlẹ́nu ló jẹ́ fún mi pé ẹsẹ̀ èèyàn ó sì ń jẹrà, ìdí ń yọ ńbẹ̀, omi ń sun jáde nínú egungun, èèyàn ẹ̀dẹ̀ sì tún wà láyé, ó tún wà lálàáfíà. So wọ́n narrate story wọn fún mi, gbogbo wọn ṣe bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń ṣiṣẹ́ lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ débi pé wọ́n dèrò, tó fi di pé ọ̀rọ̀ ẹsẹ̀ yẹn sọ wọ́n dèrò Ìlọrin, tó fi di pé wọ́n wà ní ipò tí wọ́n wà. Gẹ́gẹ́ mo dẹ̀ ṣe sọ fáwọn náà pé tọ́, a mọ̀ pé Ọlọ́run ló ń ṣe tẹ́ ẹ ti ń wojú Ọlọ́run fún ọ̀nà àánú kò ní dí mọ́ yín. A dúpẹ́, a mọ̀ lóore tẹ́ ẹ dìde ìrànlọ́wọ́ fún wọn láti wá ṣoore fún wọn lénìí. Ẹ ṣé, a dúpẹ́. Tẹ́ bá dẹ̀ wò ẹ rí ọmọ mẹ́rin ni wọ́n ní. Àwọn ọmọ mẹ́rin àtìgbà táwọn last born wọn àtìgbà tó ti wá ní bóyá bí ọdún 2 nìyá wọn ti fi kalẹ̀. Kí obìnrin gbé ọmọ kalẹ̀ láì mọ̀ wẹ̀yìn wò títí tọ́mọ náà fi pọ́ ọmọ ọdún 9, tọ́mọ yẹn fi dọmọ ọdún 9 lórí àárẹ̀ bàbá yẹn náà. Ọ̀nà yẹn náà ló ti wá láti wá ọ̀nà jẹ fún wọn, wọ́n ṣe ń lọ.
So gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo ṣe ń sọ lọ ní orí Mayegun's Diary Political, àwọn nǹkan tí à ń ṣe ó kọjá pé à ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ìwà ìbàjẹ́ àwọn olórí Nàìjíríà. Ètò wa lórí Mayegun's Diary Political ó kọjá kí a kọ́ ara wa ní ẹ̀kọ́, ká fún ara wa ní òye tí ó pé, àti bí a ṣe ń ṣe kíni, bí a ṣe ń wu ìwà sí àwọn èèyàn tí wọn ò fẹ́ wá fẹ́ ire, tí wọ́n dẹ̀ ń fẹ́ kí a ṣe kíni kí a máa tẹríba fún wọn, wọ́n pera wọn lólórí. So à ń ṣe yẹn lórí Mayegun's Diary Political, ìyẹn lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ kan. In fact, ìyẹn gan ló fẹ́ kéré jù ní nǹkan tá à ń ṣe lórí Mayegun. Ní apá kejì, àwọn èèyàn mi kan wà ní orí Mayegun's Diary Political tí wọ́n ṣe tán láti rí wípé gbogbo àwọn èèyàn tí ó jẹ́ bí ará ilẹ̀ Nàìjíríà lákọ̀ọ́kọ́ tí wọ́n ń kojú ohunkóhun tí wọ́n lè máa kojú tó fẹ́ lè le ju ẹ̀mí wọn lọ. Àwọn èèyàn kan wà lórí Mayegun's Diary Political tó jẹ́ pé nǹkan tí wọ́n bá lè fi ràn wọ́n lọ́wọ́ wọn ò kì í gbọ́ àgbọ́gbọ́tínù. Then àwọn ẹgbẹ́ kan wà tí à ń pè ní ẹgbẹ́ Yoruba Union. Èyí ni àkójọpọ̀ káàárọ̀ òjíire ọmọ Yorùbá ní gbogbo àgbáyé. Lára ohun tí à ń ṣe ni wípé ní after tí a ti I'm sorry, ní ẹ̀yìn ìgbà tí a ti ní òye, àgbọ́yé àti ìmọ̀ nípa bí ilẹ̀ Nàìjíríà ṣe bàjẹ́ débi tó bàjẹ́ dé lọ́jọ́ ti èní, òye wa kún débi pé a rí i pé tí a ò bá tètè bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní fi tó àwọn èèyàn wa létí wípé ìgbésẹ̀ wà tán láti gbé o, ìgbésẹ̀ tán láti gbé òun ni ìgbésẹ̀ òmìnira ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, ṣùgbọ́n oríṣiríṣi ló máa kọ́kọ́ ṣẹlẹ̀ kí yẹn tó wáyé. a rí wípé tí Yorùbá bá máa gba òmìnira kúrò ní Nàìjíríà, òmìnira àkọ́kọ́ tí à ń láti gbà òun ni òmìnira kúrò ní ọwọ́ àwọn tí wọ́n jẹ́ ọmọ Yorùbá tí wọ́n ń kó wa lẹ́rú nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, tí wọ́n mú wa ní ẹrú ní amúnisìn fún ilẹ̀ Nàìjíríà. So báwo la ṣe lè ṣe léyìí nígbà tó jẹ́ pé Yorùbá kan náà la jọ ń sọ lẹ́nu, ọmọ Yorùbá ni wọ́n, Yorùbá lèmi. Tó yẹ ká tún kọ ọ̀rọ̀ síra wa lẹ́nu ká máa bára wa jà, èyí tí wọ́n sọ wípé ọmọ yẹn ni ò lè ṣèdí bẹ̀bẹ̀ rẹ̀ ká fi ìlẹ̀kẹ̀ sí di ọmọ ẹlòmíì. Àwọn irọ́ tí wọ́n ń pa fún wa, tí wọ́n ti pa fáwọn èèyàn wa, tó ń jẹ́ kó yé àwọn èèyàn wa wípé tí wọ́n bá ṣèèṣì kọ ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn olórí burúkú tá a pè ní olórí nílẹ̀ Yorùbá yìí, tí wọ́n bá kọ ọ̀rọ̀ sí wọn lẹ́nu, ìyà ló máa jẹ́ o. Ìdí nìyẹn táwọn èèyàn wa ṣe máa ń sọ wípé tẹ́ bá ní ká má tẹ̀lé àwọn olórí burúkú tó ń darí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá yìí, ta ní ká wá tẹ̀lé. Ṣàwa wá rí wípé iṣẹ́ tó wà lọ́wọ́ wa ó ju iṣẹ́ pé ká sọ fáwọn èèyàn ọmọ Yorùbá pé ẹjá lọ gba òmìnira ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, ẹjá lọ jà fún, because a rí pé òye ò tó fún àìmọye àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. So tí ẹ bá rá ẹni tó máa kọ́kọ́ jà, tó máa kọ́kọ́ lòdì sí òmìnira ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, àwọn ọmọ tó jẹ́ ọmọ Yorùbá ni. Kò yà yín lẹ́nu? Àwa là ń jẹ ìyà jù ní Nàìjíríà lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí, a ò lè sọ. Ṣùgbọ́n tí o bá sọ wípé ẹjẹ́ àlọ́jà fún òmìnira ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, Yorùbá nation, Yorùbá nation, àwọn tí ó jẹ́ ọmọ Yorùbá tí òye dáadáa, àwọn ni àkọ́kọ́ ẹni tí àkọ́kọ́ kógun ìjà dìde. Kí ló ń jẹ́ Yorùbá nation? Nàìjíríà la fẹ́, torí òye wọn. Ìdí nìyẹn tí Yorùbá Union ṣe sọ di iṣẹ́ títí wa. Láti fi òye yìí yé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn tí wọ́n jẹ́ ọmọ Yorùbá, kí a gbé sí ẹ̀gbẹ́ ara wọn, ká wá sọ fún wọn pé tí ẹ bá ní àǹfààní láti mú nínú Nàìjíríà àbí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá kó dá dúró, èwo lẹ máa mú. Tí òye yìí bá tó dáadáa, àwọn Yorùbá tó máa jà fún ilẹ̀ Yorùbá nìyẹn, tí wọ́n máa gba òmìnira fún ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Kò sẹ́ni tó ń bọ̀ láti wá gba òmìnira fún ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Kò sí Mósè kankan tó ń bọ̀ láti ibì kankan láti wá kó yín kúrò ní ilẹ̀ Íjíbítì. Yorùbá Union ṣetán láti jẹ́ kí gbogbo wa rí ipa tí a ń láti kó àti ìdí tí a ń ṣe ń láti kó ipa yẹn. Láti jà fún ilẹ̀ Yorùbá tó ní òmìnira kúrò ní abẹ́ Nàìjíríà tó ń ṣe wá lọ́ṣẹ́. Ìdí nìyẹn tí a ṣe sọ wípé nǹkan tí à ń ṣe, iṣẹ́ wa ò ń ṣe iṣẹ́ tí ó lógbóríyìn lọ títí. Kì í ṣe iṣẹ́ kan tí èèyàn kan máa fẹ́ dé tó máa lóhun ní ọ̀gá wọn, èmi ló lórí, kíní kan ní gbákejì, tọ̀hún yẹn ní kíní. Ẹni bá darapọ̀ mọ́ Yorùbá Union, ó fẹ́ wá volunteer, èlétò tí wọn náà bá lè ṣe láti rí wípé ọ̀rọ̀ òmìnira lẹ̀ Yorùbá kò di àgbọ́gbọ́tínù fún àwa tí a jẹ́ ọmọ Yorùbá. Lọ́jọ́ tèmi tó bá rí àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá tó bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìjà lórí social media, tó bá sọ pé Yorùbá nation, tó bá rí ọmọ Yorùbá tí wọ́n bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní faṣọ ya mọ́ra wọn lọ́rùn, àgàgà àwọn tí wọ́n fẹ́ wọ́n Nàìjíríà, àwọn Lagos abọ́bakú, àwọn èèyàn Thiefnubu, tí wọ́n ń pe àwọn ọmọ ọkọ Yorùbá lọ́mọ àlè, tí wọ́n ń pe ọmọ àlè àmọ̀dá, Ṣàngólérè ní ọmọ ọkọ. Òye ni òye wọn, ṣùgbọ́n with time, òye yìí á yé wọn. Lẹ́yìn ìgbà tí a pàdé Mr. Lukman, a tún padà lọ, because ó ti wá di iṣẹ́, ó ti di ojúṣe ìgbìmọ̀ má jẹ́ kó bàjẹ́ ilẹ̀ Yorùbá káàárọ̀ oòjíire ọmọ Oòduà, Yorùbá Union, láti rí wípé ohun Ọlọ́run tí ó dá ẹ̀mí Lukman sí di àsìkò yìí, á jẹ́ pé ó ní òun fi ṣe ni náà. Àbí báwo lẹ́sẹ̀ èèyàn méjì ṣe máa rí? Kò sí medical treatment, kò sí anything. Ọmọ mẹ́rin wà ńlẹ̀, ó dẹ̀ ṣe ń mí normally, ó sì ń sọ̀rọ̀ normally. Á jẹ́ pé Ọlọ́run ní nǹkan fẹ̀mí ẹ̀ ṣe nìyẹn. Nígbà tá a pàdé Mr. Lukman lọ́jọ́ náà lọ́hùn, òun tún rèé o.
Bá yá àwọn ọmọ mi lè padà ṣàánú mi, tí mi bá kú àwọn ọmọ mi lè padà ṣàánú mi. Ẹ dákun tó rẹ lọ́hùn, mo bẹ̀ gbogbo ọmọ Nàìjíríà, ó ṣíjú àánú wò mí.
ẹ bá ń gbé wọn, ẹ bá mi gbé wọn síbẹ̀, ẹ bá mi gbé wọn síbẹ̀.
Princess Balogun, kọ́lọ́run túbọ̀ bá mi fún yín ní ẹ̀mí tó gùn àti àlàáfíà. Princess Balogun ti ṣe ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ iṣẹ́ ju àwọn olórí burúkú olóṣèlú tẹ̀rín ilẹ̀ Yorùbá yẹn lọ́sìn. Wípé kí nǹkan kan látọwọ́ yín di wípé ọ̀rọ̀ bá dé sorry o, ní ọjọ́ kọjọ́ tí ọ̀rọ̀ bá ti dé pé Yorùbá nation referendum àbí abẹ̀rẹ̀ ìrìn àjò láti fún Ọlọ́run pa débi pé ó dé ojú ẹ̀, ẹ̀yin ẹ dìde, tara yín ni tàwọn ọmọ yín ni. So a bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní pé gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá ní gbogbo àgbá ẹ darapọ̀ má wa náà. Ẹ jẹ́ àsọra wa oṣùṣù ọwọ̀ tán ní kò ṣeé ṣẹ́ yẹn. Ení tere èjì tere òun náà ni pé ọjà fi ń kún. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ayé la lè yí padà, ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àdúgbò la lè yí padà, ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ agbègbè òun la lè touch nílẹ̀ Yorùbá tí gbogbo wa, especially gbogbo àwa tá wà nílùú òyìnbó yìí, tí gbogbo wa bá pa ọwọ́ pọ̀ nígbà táwọn tó wà nílé sọ pé àwọn ti ṣe tán. A padà sọ́dọ̀ Mr. Lukman lẹ́yìn ìgbà tí a gbé wọn lọ ilé ìwòsàn. Ẹsẹ̀ kan ni ló ní problem tí wọ́n gé. Nígbà tó yá lẹ́sẹ̀ kejì náà bẹ̀rẹ̀, kò wá sówó tí wọ́n á fi gé àbí tí wọ́n á nọ́ọ̀sì láti rí pé wọ́n ò gé. Àfìgbà tí wọ́n tẹ́sẹ̀ yìí fúnra rẹ̀ jábọ̀ o. Odindi ẹsẹ̀ kó jẹjẹjẹjẹ tó fi jábọ̀ fúnra rẹ̀. Ní ọjọ́ tí a lọ rí Mr. Lukman, Yorùbá Union ń pín wheelchair tuntun fún gbogbo àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá tí wọ́n jẹ́ bí abarapá. Òun la fi come across sí wọn. Lẹ́yìn ìgbà tí a pàdé Mr. Lukman, a ti gbé wọn lọ ilé ìwòsàn. A ti lọ ṣe oríṣiríṣi ètò ìwòsàn, kí ló ti ń pè ààbò àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Ìyẹn ní kọ́kọ́ o, Yorùbá Union gan tún ti ṣe ètò láti kó méjì nínú ọmọ Mr. Lukman. Ká kó wọn sí ilé ìwé, a private school lÉkòó. So a ti rí ìkan nínú ọmọ union leaders wa Yorùbá Union tó ti gbà láti rán àwọn ọmọ yẹn nílé ìwé láti primary school títí dé university. Àtàgbàrá àmì tí Ọlọ́run bá ṣe kíni o tó fún wọn ní ẹ̀mí tó gùn tọ́lọ́run dẹ̀ máa bá mi fún. Àwọn ọmọ méjì tó kù, a fẹ́ wo bí a ṣe lè ran Mr. Lukman fúnra rẹ̀ lọ́wọ́. Táwọn ọmọ méjèèjì ọ̀hún náà á padà sílé ìwé tí wọ́n á dẹ̀ lè máa ṣayé wọn lọ níwọ̀nba ju bí a ṣe bá wọn tẹ́lẹ̀ lọ. Ṣùgbọ́n gbà tá a padà lọ, eléyìí ni.
Inú tèmi náà lórí ìjókòó pé kó ṣàánú mi, kó ṣíjú àánú wò mí, káàmọ́ mi ò fi ní dọmọ lọ́mọ, tí màá fi rá ọmọ mi tọ́jú, kó ṣàánú mi. Mo mọ̀ ṣe nígbà tí mi lè lọ bí kankan mọ́, mo tún lẹ́yìn jẹnẹrétọ̀, mo tún ṣe jẹnẹrétọ̀ lórí ìjókòó pé nítorí ti gbé fún mi lálákọ̀ọ́kọ́ ń belé ìtumọ̀ gbẹ mọ́, ọmọ olùfẹ́ mọ̀ tì mí káàkiri, kò sí ọmọ kankan. Àtìgbà náà ni mo ti ń kópa fúnra mi láìsí ìyá, láìsí bàbá, láìsí ẹnì kankan. Inú tèmi náà dùn gan-an, mo rí inú mi dùn gan-an. Ọlọ́run mo ní 100% kìíní báyìí, so I really fit well well. So tìǹbàrẹ́ǹjì mọ́tò lórí ìjókòó máa tù tìǹbàrẹ́ǹjì bẹ́ẹ̀ ni tìǹbàrẹ́ǹjì mọ́tò máa tù. Ẹ ṣé gan. Thank you very much. dúpẹ́ lọ Yorùbá Union gan ó kù ní pé nǹkan díẹ̀ wọ́n dá èmi padà sí ilé ayé torí mi ò rò pé bóyá mo tẹ̀lé jẹ́ èèyàn mọ́ àmọ́ ńgbà tí Yorùbá Union tí wọ́n dé wọ́n sọ mí di èèyàn padà wọ́n sì dá èmi padà sí ilé ayé torí ìrò tí mò ń rò tẹ́lẹ̀ ni pé bóyá pé ẹsẹ̀ mi ni ó pa mí àmọ́ mo wá dúpẹ́ lọ Yorùbá Union pé wọ́n dá èmi padà mo sì mọ́ lóore gbogbo ibikíbi tí ẹnì kọ̀ọ̀kan wọn tán ro kòrò sí àbí tán ro kòrò sí orí ìmọ̀dé bá wọn bẹ́ẹ̀ gbogbo ibikíbi táwọn ọmọ tiwọn náà bá wà ó mọ bá àná Ọlọ́run pàdé mo dúpẹ́ o mo mọ́ lóore o mo mọ́ lóore mo mọ́ lóore torí ẹ̀yin lẹ́jẹ́ kẹ́mi mi wàdé mi torí tí n bá ti jí mo máa ń rò pé bóyá ẹsẹ̀ yìí náà ni ó pa mí àbí tí n bá ti sùn mo máa ń rò pé bóyá pé mi ò ní jí mọ́ àmọ́ mo wá dúpẹ́ lọ Yorùbá Union pé mo tún wà lálàáfíà ara mi jí pépé báyìí kódà mo lálàáfíà ju ti tẹ́lẹ̀ lọ mo dúpẹ́ lọ Yorùbá Union o. Ibi tá a wà yìí ilẹ̀ mọ́mì wa ni wọ́n rẹ̀ fún àwọn ẹ̀gbọ́n mi torí Èkó lèmi wà tẹ́lẹ̀ tọ́jú fún ẹ̀gbọ́n mi àti àbúrò mi àmọ́ nínú ibi tí mò ń gbé.
We will come back to that. Má padà wá sí orí ti bẹ̀yẹn. Princess báwo ni?
Dada ni Máyégún ẹ kálẹ́ gbogbo lé ọ. Mo ń kí Mr. Lukman ẹ kálẹ́ Ahmed.
Ó ga jù.
Báwo ni ṣe wà ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀? Kálẹ́.
Ẹ kálẹ́ o.
Mr. Lukman báwo ni?
Dada ni sir.
Great. So, èmi ni wọ́n ń pè ní Máyégún o. And ó dàbí pé ìgbà àkọ́kọ́ a máa kọ́kọ́ sọ̀rọ̀ ní àbí?
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni sir.
Ìgbà àkọ́kọ́ rẹ̀ báwo lára?
Alhamdulillah.
Mo kí yín ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí Máyégún's Diary Political. And then adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run fún ilé ayé yín o. Right? Princess Ahmed mo máa padà wá sọ́dọ̀ títí láìpẹ́ yìí, right? Princess ẹ̀yin lẹ rọ̀yọ́ tẹ tọ̀yọ́ bọ̀ ẹ̀yin lẹ rọ̀hún and Yorùbá Union níwọ̀n gbogbo ìgbà ó dà pé a ti ní issue pẹ̀lú network yín bẹ̀yẹn o ṣé ń gbọ́ mi?
À ń gbọ́ yín.
Ẹ̀yin ń gbọ́ mi àbí? Ẹ jẹ́ kí a padà wá bá Princess then. Mr. Lukman. Okay, all right, Princess ti ready sí. So mo fẹ́ kí Princess yẹn introduce wa sí bí journey yìí ṣe bẹ̀rẹ̀ àti bí tí a bá dé. Then màá wá sọ́dọ̀ tẹ̀yin lẹ́nu oníkan lọ́ní àti ń gbọ́ muta máa padà wá sọ́dọ̀ tẹ̀yin. Ẹ̀yin náà máa bá mi wá oyè yìí èmi àti máa jọ fún mi fọ̀rọ̀ jomi toro láìpẹ́. But Princess, man, problem Nigeria network rẹ o. I hope pé mi ò ní máa lọ back and forth báyìí. So I'll let her kind of fix that. So ẹ jẹ́ kí n dúró sọ́dọ̀ tí yín Ahmed. Ahmed.
Yes, sir.
Ìwọ fúnra rẹ as ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ Yorùbá Union and a very very prominent one indeed. So Ahmed, ìwọ ni ó ṣe àtọ́nà bí a ṣe ṣalábàápàdé Mr. Lukman. But tí Mr. Lukman kọ́ ní ìgbà àkọ́kọ́ tí ẹ máa lọ ṣe ìrànlọ́wọ́ fún àwọn èèyàn on different things, especially ní Ìlọrin, right? Show mind kò share pẹ̀lú wa again. Báwo ni Yorùbá Union ṣe come across Mr. Lukman? Then mo ń padà bọ̀ lọ́tẹ̀ yìí náà.
Ẹ ṣeun ní olóòtú. Mo kí everybody tí ó ń wò wá o. Bí ìrìn àjò yẹn ṣe lọ ní. Ọ̀rẹ́ mi kan tó jẹ́ journalist tó wà ní Ìlọrin, mo wà lọ́fíìsì ẹjọ́ kan, so mo wá rí tó ń ṣe editing and mo kàn come across the video Mr. Lukman. Ìjọ yẹn mi lè wò, mo sunkún kò ní ọ́fíìsì ẹ̀ ni, so I just have to go back home and mi get ara mi ìjọ yẹn. So I just have to call Princess láti sọ fún ọ pé nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní àní tí Yorùbá yìí wọ́n dẹ̀ gbé dání nìyẹn láti máa help àwọn èèyàn. So Princess ẹ̀ ní okay, kò sí problem, I ma take your up. So from then I take your up and I lọ káàkiri gbogbo southwest láti lọ pé wheelchair fún àwọn abarapá. Then I come across sí Ìlọrin ìjọ yẹn. Bá a ṣe dé ọ̀dọ̀ wọn, gbogbo àwa Yorùbá Union tá wà ń bẹ̀ kò sí anybody including driver wa kò sí anybody tí ò shed tears because èmi tí mo ṣe gbé camera dání gan I can't withstand it láti cover wọn so I just have to give it to my friend láti cover wọn because I can't withstand it crying ojú wa omi ẹkún pọ̀ lójú wa ganjọ yẹn and he shared his experience how bí nǹkan yẹn ṣe ṣẹlẹ̀ bó ṣe wà lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tó fi wálé bí àwọn ṣe lọ àwọn ọmọ mẹ́rin bí màmá àti bàbá wàhálà kan ṣe tí tó fi kú so I dey promise wọn pé pẹ̀lú ògo Ọlọ́run àwọn Yorùbá Union member they will take it up so bá ṣe take it up nìyẹn and the first thing tá a ní àkọ́kọ́ máa ṣe ni pé health wọn wà very much important sí wa because bí air condition wọn ṣe wà ń gbà yẹn ó worst gan so a lọ sí general hospital bá ṣe dé general hospital àwọn wò the first doctor tó kọ́kọ́ máa sọ́njọ́ yẹn ni pé orí ò fọ́ wọn ara ò ro wọn ẹ̀dọ̀ ò dùn wọn how come tó fi wà títí di ọjọ́ ìní ní Ọlọ́run náà ni so immediately wọn máa ṣe surgery fún wọn and I say kò sí problem we take care up. Then okùnjọ́ tó máa ṣe surgery fún wọn ló bá ní wọ́n lọ sí strike àwọn resident doctor lọ sí strike báwo la ṣe máa ṣe and wọ́n nídìí láti tètè ṣe kíní yìí then we went to the state hospital wọ́n ní kò sáàyè mọ́ this bla bla then our private hospital kan ní Ìlọrin bíi tó jẹ́ they are good meanwhile you know how Nigeria work gbogbo àwọn tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ ní federal hospital yẹn náà ń ṣiṣẹ́ ní private yẹn so majority of the doctors tó wà ní private federal hospital àwọn náà ní private hospital yẹn wọ́n kàn ń lò yẹn as camouflage so ọlọ́ṣà bá wa ṣe tí a fi ṣe surgery yẹn a parí surgery tán then wọ́n ní kó máa wá ní maybe every 3 days kó máa wá láti change ẹ̀ títọ́ fi ṣe tán tí ojú ẹ̀ fi pàdé so tí adé nìyẹn.
Right. So and then so far so good. Ati successfully carry out to the part of the first operation. And Yoruba Union she if I Timoba rántí I see Moba right Iba Kosha Yoruba Union she in foot medical checkup one. Yes or no?
No. What is stop? Be like meta. I think meta. One ní kan wá bí meta àti gbà yẹn. Just kọ́kọ́ dress ibẹ̀ tó máa fi close ni tó máa fi heal. Ọ̀dẹ̀ ti dress ẹ̀ tó ti close. So it's like kò sí nǹkan wọ́n ti wà fine. Àwọn náà máa sọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́nu ẹ̀ máa gbọ́ lẹ́nu wọn o. Tó bá kú sí àwọn náà máa sọ.
Kò ṣe wọ̀gọ́ ló yẹ kó answer yẹn. But mo ń padà bọ̀ lọ́dọ̀ mi sí ọ̀dọ̀ princess ti ready sí. Princess báwo ni?
Data ni Mayegun everybody ẹ kálẹ́ o. Mo ń kí gbogbo ilé o.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Lukman ẹ kálẹ́. Ṣé àwọn ọmọ ló wà lẹ́yìn yẹn?
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni ọmọ àtẹ̀gbọ́n wọn ló wà níbí wa.
Okay, ẹ̀gbọ́n wọn ọkùnrin yẹn. Ẹ kálẹ́ sà o. Mo ń kí yín tológun o. Ṣé wà okay? Ẹ kú àdúrótì o. Báwo ni? Ṣé Latif ni ẹ? Mo ń kí ẹ o. Mo ń kí ọkọ mi báwo ni? Ṣàlàáfíà ni? Àwọn àbúrò ẹ ń kọ́. Ẹ kú ọmọ ṣe o. Á jèrè yín o. Bàbá yín á jèrè yín o. Ẹ ní ṣubú dànù o. Mr. Lukman, mo kí yín kú oríire. Mo kí yín dáadáa. Mo kí yín látọkàn mi. Mo kí yín rí látara. Mo kí yín pẹ̀lú everything. Inú mi dùn bí n ṣe rí yín. I'm very happy. Ibi tẹ́ lérò re sí. Tóre jáde ń bẹ̀. Adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Yorùbá Union. Adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ everybody. You know? Kọ́lọ̀ ń ṣàánú wa dé. Bí story yẹn ṣe bẹ̀rẹ̀ lélẹ́yìí, Mayegun. Ahmed ló kọ́kọ́ send kíní yẹn sí mi. Ìgbà tó send video yẹn sí mi ní ọ̀rẹ́ òun kan pè mí o. Ahmed is a media man, is a journalist, you know. Ọ̀rẹ́ òun kan pè mí o. Ó pè òun ó send kankan sóhun báyìí. Mo ní send ẹ̀ sí mi. Káwo bá yẹ fẹ́ ṣiṣẹ́ lórí ẹ̀, you know. Ìgbà tó send ẹ̀ sí mi tí máa wò tán. Mo send ẹ̀ sí Mrs. Busari straight, me send ẹ̀ sí Mayegun cause mi ò tiẹ̀ nǹkan tèmi wò tó traumatize mi. Mo send ẹ̀ sí Mrs. Busari pè mí ó ń ké bí ìkókó ni. Ọ̀rọ̀ ẹkún kọ́ ni bóyá ń ké èmi náà ń gbọ́n omi ẹkún yẹn mú bíbá ẹ̀ pé ọ̀rọ̀ ẹkún kọ́ leléyìí, kí ni ṣíṣe òun la fẹ́ mọ̀. Kí la fẹ́ ṣe sí because she was truly traumatized. So ngbata de Tony báwo la fẹ́ ṣe mo ní outreach wa ta fẹ́ ṣe wọ́n ti kọ́kọ́ béèrè wheelchair náà ẹ jẹ́ ká gbé wheelchair lọ síbẹ̀. Ngbata ma débẹ̀ Mayegun téèyàn bá jorí ahun àké ó ní ọmọ kan tó máa ń tẹ̀lé wa káàkiri mo rò pé mi ti gbẹ lára ẹ̀ ní sójà ni. Sójà ń ké bí ìkókó ni. Stephen ó wà lọ́dọ̀ mi ó ń ké bí bébì ni. Aláàjì tó yẹ pé ojú ẹ̀ gan dá èmi tó yẹ pé mo wà emotional on my own mo ò tiẹ̀ lè dúró síbẹ̀ mọ́ because bí ẹkún mi in fact Mayegun ẹni tó gbé wa lọ amputee ni bọ̀bọ́ yẹn driver tó gbé wa lọ bó o lè tètè mọ̀ because títí ẹ̀ ó wà below the knee ni driver bú sí gbé nígbà tó rí Mr. Lukman. Wọ́n á dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run, á dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Yorùbá Union, you know, ìgbìmọ̀ má jẹ́ kó bàjẹ́, we were able to come on. In fact, bá ṣe débẹ̀ mi ní kó jẹ́ ká máa gbé wọn lọ sí hospital lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ lọ́jọ́ yẹn máa sanwó. Wọ́n ní a lè bá wọn mọ́ lọ hospital, wọ́n máa ti close nǹkan kan báyẹn. Okay, ẹ máa retí wa láàárọ̀ ọjọ́ kejì. Mọ ẹni tó wà lórí screen tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀, òun ló bring Mr. Lukman to limelight, yeah. Àwọn a máa pè ẹ̀yin hospital ẹ máa rù wọ́n lọ lọ́jọ́ kejì báyìí máa ṣe á dé arrange fún wọn. Ìgbà tán dé hospital wọ́n ní ó strike, wọ́n ní tó bá strike ẹ̀yin ẹ lọ bá àwọn doctors yẹn gbogbo wọn ló máa ní private hospital títí wọn ẹ lọ bá wọn fà á ẹ ní pé wá ṣe nǹkan tẹ́ fẹ́ fún wọn Ọlọ́run dẹ̀ bá wa ṣe wọ́n ṣe àwọn nǹkan tá fẹ́ a ní káwọn ẹbí wọn wá sáìnì. Because téèyàn bá yan àgbàdo fún afọ́jú a máa súfè.
That's right.
A ní káwọn ẹbí wọn wá sign ọlọ́mọ yẹn ká rí aburú. Àwọn family wọn dẹ̀ show up and they were of great help, you know. Wọ́n dúró nídúró èèyàn. These brothers and sisters were a bit emotional, but wọ́n dúró. Àṣẹ tá fẹ́ ṣe Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kó bọ́ sí i. Àwọn náà rèé Mr. Lukman iṣẹ́ wọn ò tí tán lọ́dọ̀ wọn. Ilé wọn nìyẹn ní background yẹn. Ilé yẹn náà wọ́n ti ní kó kúrò ńbẹ̀ ńsìn. Láàárín pọ́n ṣàárẹ̀ níyà wọn ni ó dà pé bàbá wọn bí ìyá wọn àbí bàbá wọn ló kọ́kọ́ kú. Bàbá wọn ló kọ́kọ́ kú ìyá wọn náà tẹ̀lé láàárín oṣù 3. So ilé yẹn àwọn ẹbí ti ní kó kúrò ńbẹ̀. So we have another plan because ẹ̀gbọ́n wọn tó jókòó sẹ́yìn yẹn kí lorúkọ yín sà?
Wọ́n máa débẹ̀ yẹn princess. Because like ẹ kò fẹ́ sọ gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ yìí tán lẹ́ẹ̀kan náà ni but mo fẹ́ bá Mr. Lukman sọ̀rọ̀. Sheget, let's hear from him too. There are so many other parts.
Okay.
Máa chip in àwọn nǹkan tẹ́ ṣe fẹ́ ṣe àbí nǹkan tí Yorùbá Union ṣe fẹ́ ṣe Sheget. But Mr. Lukman, ẹni kọ́ bá mi yíra ẹ sójú yín dáadáa. Good. Mo ń bọ̀ ẹ fún mi ṣẹ́jú kan o. So mo fẹ́ gbé ojú yín yẹn wá sókè sí. Yeah, one sec. Great. So ẹ ti meet Yorùbá Union. But ń sìn báyìí sìn àwa náà fẹ́ meet yín. A lot wa ní orí platform yìí láti gbọ́ pa yín. Wá meet yín báyìí. And pé akọ̀tẹ̀ kọ́kọ́ gbọ́ lẹ́gbọ́ àwọn tó sọ̀tọ̀ ẹ̀ sí pé gbàtà kọ́kọ́ gbọ́ nípa situation tẹ́ wà àwọn èèyàn wá dáhùn pé ẹ̀mí ẹni yìí ṣe pàtàkì o and all of that àti dúpẹ́ lọ́jọ́ tèmi o pé ara ti ṣe gírí, so mo fẹ́ kí ẹ sọ bí ẹ ṣe bí journey ìgbà tí ẹ pàdé Yorùbá Union, láàrin ìgbà tẹ́ mọ Yorùbá Union àti ìsìnyí, mo fẹ́ kí ẹ fẹnu ara yín sọ bí ẹ ṣe feel, àti ó ti yé báyìí sìn kó tó di pé a bẹ̀rẹ̀ a máa tẹ̀síwájú ní pẹrẹwu. Mo ti rí Fawaz àbí kí lórúkọ ẹ̀ lẹ́yìn bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn, àbí kí lórúkọ ọmọ yín? Fawaz. Mo dẹ̀ ti rí ọyìn tí mo ti rí àwọn náà nínú fídíò tẹ́lẹ̀ máa béèrè question lọ́wọ́ tàwọn náà. Ọlọ́run á dúró tì yín, ẹ ṣeun gan o. However, Mr. Lukman, gbogbo ayé ló ń gbọ́ yín báyìí o. Àwọn èèyàn tó mọ̀ yín tẹ́yìn ò mọ̀ pọ̀ o. So ẹ sọ fún mi, báwo ni ayé ni life ṣe rí láti ọjọ́ tí ẹ ti kọ́kọ́ fetí gbọ́ Yorùbá Union àti di wákàtí ọ̀wọ̀ tí ẹ wà yìí? Mo fẹ́ kẹ́ fẹ́nu ara yín sọ fún wa, báwo ló ṣe feel like, kí ni situation?
Alhamdulillah. Dúpẹ́ fọ́lọ́run. Mo dẹ̀ tún dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Yorùbá Union. Torí tí ìbá ṣe
Alúpọ̀n ẹ sọ̀rọ̀ sókè o.
Ẹ sọ̀rọ̀ sókè.
Tí ìbá kí ń ṣe Yorùbá Union ni irú ọjọ́ èní bóyá kò bá ti wáyé, bóyá Yorùbá ti wà live. Torí kó tó di pé mo mọ Yorùbá Union, tí n bá ti da ògùn jẹ lálẹ́, máa gbé tọ́lọ́run bá ní mo jí. Torí ẹsẹ̀ tí mo wò dé ń bẹ̀ tí mo wò mí bẹ̀ yìí, kódà ọ̀rọ̀ mi dàbí ìgbà yẹn pé bóyá ẹran iléyá tá a so mọ́lẹ̀ tá à ń sọ pé ìgbà báyìí láti sọdún, bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo ṣe ń ro ọ̀rọ̀ mi ńgbà náà. Àmọ́ mo wá dúpẹ́ fọ́lọ́run láti ìgbà tí mo ti parí Yorùbá Union, wọ́n change life mi, wọ́n jẹ́ kí n mọ̀ pé mo sì jẹ́yàn láyé, wọ́n jẹ́ kí n mọ̀ pé ẹ̀mí mi sì wà láyé. So mo wá dúpẹ́ lọ Yorùbá Union gan pé ní àsìkò ìgbà tí mo mọ̀ wọ́n yìí, life mi tún yàtọ̀ sí ìgbà tí mo ti ń bábọ̀ tí mo wà nù nira. So mo dúpẹ́ lọ Yorùbá Union gan.
So which means pé ara ti, because mo gbọ́ tán ní ẹ sọ yìí pé tí wọ́n bá gbé yín sí orí tírọ́ọ̀kì lọ́wọ́ yìí sí, ẹ máa tún tán, ẹ máa tún palẹ̀ gan ni. So gan
machine
tá bá sọ pé okay pé kí ni iṣẹ́ tẹ̀ náà dà pé iṣẹ́ tẹ padà wá wò pé àbúyá mo tẹ̀lé máa lọ kọ́ nǹkan báyìí, kí ni nǹkan tí ẹ rò pé ẹ̀ ń ṣe, àmì kí ni nǹkan tẹ̀ ń ṣe kí gbogbo ilé tó débi tó dé yìí?
Mẹkáníìkì ni mo ń ṣe lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ní along Abapa road ní Bega, ibi tá ti ń ta mọ́tò yẹn. Ṣọ́ọ̀bù mi wà ní MC1 Park, ibi tá ti ń ta mọ́tò ń bẹ̀. So ṣàdédé ni mo jí lọ́wọ́ àárọ̀ ọjọ́ kan, mo kàn fíìlì bí ìgbà tí mo tẹ òkúta mọ́lẹ̀, mi ò fíìlì jù báyẹn lọ. Láti Èkó tí mo fi dé Ìlọrin, mi ò fẹsẹ̀ mi sí floor mọ́tò. Ó dàbí ìgbà tó dáná kolo pọ́ọ̀tù báyìí tó wá gbé ẹsẹ̀ mi síbẹ̀, tí ẹsẹ̀ mi fi ń gbóná, tí jóná gidi débi pé mi ò tiẹ̀ mọ̀ bóyá ayé ni mo wà àbọ̀ ọ̀run ni. So nígbà tí mo ṣàdélé, wọ́n ṣàbẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní sáré sọ́tún, wọ́n sáré sósì. So kó tó di pé wọ́n bá mi operate ẹsẹ̀ kan yẹn. So láì gbà tó ti wá operate ẹsẹ̀ kan yẹn, wọ́n á rò pé mi ì pílánì tó ń fẹ́ mọ̀ tọrọ láyé mi, tí èsì máa ṣe mẹkáníìkì mi lọ. So mo tún continue pẹ̀lú mẹkáníìkì mi. Ẹsẹ̀ kan yẹn mo ti wọ́n fi ń drive mọ́tò automatic tí mo bá ṣiṣẹ́, tí mo bá fẹ́ test ẹ̀, mo máa fi ń test mọ́tò, mo máa fi ń drive. So ìrọ̀lẹ́ ọjọ́ kan mo kàn lọ yàgbẹ́ lẹ́kùnlé, ó ní blọ́ọ̀kù kan tí mo gbé sẹ́gbẹ́ kan tí mo máa jókòó lórí ẹ̀ tí mo bá fẹ́ yàgbẹ́ nígbà tí mi ti lè bẹ̀rẹ̀ mọ́ ẹlẹ́sẹ̀ kejì. So mo yàgbẹ́ tán ní ìrọ̀lẹ́ ọjọ́ yẹn, kí n dìde padà báyìí, tó bá di pé mi lè dìde, mo bá jókòó padà, orí ìgbẹ́ yẹn gan mo jókòó lé. So mo ṣáà pé ẹnìkan pé kánjọ kan wá pọ̀n mí jáde. Láti bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọ́n pọ̀n mí jáde, bọ́yọ̀ pọ̀n mí lọlé, láti bẹ̀rẹ̀ di pé ẹsẹ̀ kejì náà tún bẹ̀rẹ̀. Kékeré la pé kíní bá di pé kíní ó di pé bàbá ń sáré sọ́tún, ìyá ń sáré sósì. Brọ́dà mi tẹ́ rí yìí, ó gba machine kan gbà náà Bajaj, wọ́n sanwó ẹ̀ tán, wọ́n tà nígbà tí ó sì yàn kan wọn. Ó tún lọ gba sọ́límẹ́ǹtì míì, orí sọ́límẹ́ǹtì yẹn náà wà tí dáàdì wa fi kú. So nígbà tó di pé wọn ò rówó san mọ́, èmi náà ìtọ́jú kò sí kankan mọ́, kò sẹ́nibọ̀dì mọ́, oní machine gba machine lọ́wọ́ wọn. So wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí pé à ń sáré sọ́tún, à ń sáré sósì. Nígbà tó wá di pé kò sí anybody tọ̀, wọ́n tẹ̀ ti yìn mí nù pé tọ́lọ́run bá yí mo wà láyé tọ́lọ́ bá sì sọ pé tọ́ ìtì ń bá lọ náà nì àwọn ọmọ máa ń sọ fún wọn pé ṣàṣàánú mi tí mo bá kú àwọn ọmọ mi ẹ dákun ẹ má bá mójútó wọn ẹ má jẹ́ kí n mọ̀ ẹ má jẹ́ kán mọ̀ pé àwọn ò ní bàbá tí mi mọ̀ pé Yorùbá Union á lè tún máa gbé ẹ̀mí mi nígbà tó yẹ pé bóyá wọ́n tó fi ẹ̀mí mi kún ẹ̀mí tó wà lára mi lẹ́yìn ìgbà tó ṣe nǹkan tó fẹ́ ṣe fún mi tán so látìgbà náà ni mo ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní òpàmúṣàwánulé complete 4 months mo wà lórí ìjókòó ẹ pé gbogbo awọ ìdí mi báyìí ó ti ṣí mórí àpótí mi ì lè fẹ̀gbẹ́ lélẹ̀ mi ì lè jókòó tí n bá gbórílé stúdù wàhálà mi ì ṣáà gẹ́ta ara mi kò jọ pé mo ti ń rọ́mẹ̀ntà mo ti ń wo nǹkan míì bí ìgbà yẹ pé bóyá ó kàn lè di lóru màá kàn yìí máa pariwo nǹkan tí ò so nígbà tó lọ ṣàgbàkóso mo kàn sùn lórúkọ kan náà ni bá rí gbà n bá ní kí n mú ìgbálẹ̀ pé kí n fi gbá àwọn kinní ìgbín tó jáde o pé kó tún mọ̀ mọ́ rìn wò mí nínú arámbò mi bá mú ìgbálẹ̀ bá gbàjọ mo gbàjọ mo pe ọmọ mi kékeré second to last born mi torí àwọn náà ni mo ń pè àti àwọn bàdá mi tí ó wà lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ ọ̀dọ̀ wa so wọ́n bá ń gbà wọn kò dànù so mo wá ní kí n pe ọmọ yẹn pé mo fẹ́ yàgbẹ́ so agbára rẹ̀ ò gbé mi sí orí ike ọ̀dà láti yàgbẹ́ so bí tí mo ti ní kí n fọ́ọ̀sì ara mi dìde báyìí ẹsẹ̀ yẹn bá yọ bọ́lẹ̀
Jésù
ẹsẹ̀ yẹn yọ bọ́lẹ̀ complete láti di orúkún gbogbo ìwà yọ bọ́lẹ̀ so gbogbo àwọn ọ̀dì yẹn náà ṣàbẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní jábọ́ tẹ̀lé so nígbà tí brọ́dà mi dé láàárọ̀ ọjọ́ kejì bá pọ̀ ọ̀gbọ̀tọ̀ bọ̀dá ẹsẹ̀ yìí mọ̀ ti re jábọ̀ wọ́n lẹ́sẹ̀ re jábọ̀ àwọn náà sunkún níbo ya wọ́n ṣàbá mi páàkì ẹ̀kọ́ ńlẹ̀ bá tó bá mi páàkì ẹ̀kọ́ ńlẹ̀ wá di pé okù egungun yẹn ń ta ìjọba gba egungun yìí tọ́ kí tí mo rí nígbà tí èèyàn wọjọ́ kó èèyàn ni o torí mi ní òkú kankan mọ́ so gbogbo tí mo bá ṣáà ti rí tọ̀ mo ṣáà fi fìdí ọmọ mi torí ìyàwó ti lọ láti bí 7 years 2017 on 7 2017 ìyàwó mi ti lọ so ó kọ àwọn ọ̀dàlẹ̀ fún mi ọ̀sẹ̀ mi so mo yí mọ́ láti bẹ̀ kó tó di pé Ọlọ́run á sọ pé kí Yorùbá Union dé kó wá ṣàánú mi.
Kí lorúkọ ẹ̀gbọ́n yìí yẹn náà?
Abdulrasheed
olórúkọ mi lẹ́yìn náà Abdulrasheed lèmi náà mi ò kọ́ kí n lò ó ni. However Rashid lèmi náà but Rashid tèmi ò ń ṣerú Rashid tí yín original ni tí yín but tọ́dọ̀ mi yẹn it's just like you know you practice anyway. Mr. mo gbọ́ wípé situation yìí padà lead sí wípé even àwọn ọmọ wọn láti more or less like má lọ léèwé mọ́ àbí láti ti di ibi tó dé ṣé tó tọ́ ni.
bẹ́ẹ̀ ni sà wọn lọ sẹ́ni ìwé ẹ̀ mọ́ torí kò sí kódà ìgbà mi gan àti fún wọn lówó oúnjẹ àárọ̀ gan máa ń ṣẹ̀ràn ni lọ sí títì pé ẹ dákun ẹ bá ń tọrọ owó wá títì fáwọn ẹ̀jẹ̀ mi jẹun báyìí pé tèmi tí n bá tẹ̀ tí lómi mo ń bá rí gàrí mu kò sí pé bóyá oògùn kan náà mo fẹ́ rà torí ẹ̀gbọ́n tí ní kó ra nǹkan fún mi náà ti gba machine lọ́wọ́ rẹ̀ náà ti gba gbẹ lọ́wọ́ rẹ̀ yìí so oògùn kankan tí ń lò sí lẹ́yìn pé tí n bá ti lo paracetamol ó tán kò rẹ̀ sí pé bóyá pé kinní kan mo fi ń ra tí n bá rí kó fẹ́ máa ro mí tí n bá ti mú rí màá tún fi rà.
even ojú ọgbẹ́ yẹn gan tọ́jú ẹ̀ náà débi pé kàn ń fi àkísà wé lásán náà ni the last time tá a rí.
lẹ́yìn tí n bá ti jí kí n tún ti rẹ̀ kú òkèlè tó ń dà mí bò kódà mi fi spirit nú rí kódà mi fi anything nú rí.
Anyway ẹ má bínú jàre ẹ jẹ́ kí princess nítorí wrap up so part of what you àkọ́kọ́ mo understand torí time wa ti ń lọ ẹgẹ́ ìsìn mo understand yìí pé union ti ná owó tó ti lé ní $1 million already on this logistically ni o medical treatment ni o and few other things behind the scene as well but union ti prioritize Mr. Lukman as a legacy sort of project tiwa lára nǹkan tí union plan láti ṣe mo fẹ́ kí ẹ sọ fún wa ibi tí a ti nídìí help àwọn èèyàn wa mo fẹ́ kí ẹ sọ mọ́ nsìn kó tó di pé máa padà lọ bá Ahmed on this and then I see Mr. Rashid as well. Maybe if I was, we me attend I say hi, koto lolela le yogbo. Oje ndro pẹ̀lú mi Princess first. Just before Kinto was on him Princess. Primarily at a point, I think it's about 3 weeks ago. Yoruba Union come to conclusion wípé níwọ̀n ìgbà tí Mr. Lukman ti regain health wọn. Tí a bá fẹ́ ran Mr. Lukman lọ́wọ́, àwọn nǹkan mẹ́ta kan wà tí a fẹ́ kí a ṣe fún wọn. Ṣẹ̀gẹ́ ti Princess máa sọ nípa wọn. Ṣóyé yín. Out of them, wọ́n ti fún wa nípa, okay, máa sọ anyway, máa jẹ́ kí Princess share gbogbo yẹn fún wa. Now, any one of you tó bá wà pẹ̀lú wa lálẹ́ yìí, tó feel like wípé àwọn fẹ́ part of this, share link láti contribute or donate or support the union lè fẹ́ support o. Kì í ṣe Mr. Lukman lè fẹ́ dá owó fún or anything o. Ṣẹ̀gẹ́ mi sí. But for the work of the union to continue, including particular one tí a fẹ́ ṣe pẹ̀lú Mr. Lukman and others, ẹ jẹ́ kí a lo link tó wà lójú screen yẹn, right? That PayPal yẹn àti give send go yẹn give us something substantial, something worthy. Ẹ get báyìí. And Princess, so far so good. Where are we lórí ọ̀rọ̀ Mr. Lukman?
We have only done the major thing. But that major thing, Tashe, is God using us to save Mr. Lukman's life. But àwọn ọmọ wọn wà ńbẹ̀, yeah? Wọ́n ní ọmọ mẹ́rin, ó rẹ̀ pé ọkùnrin mẹ́ta, obìnrin kan. Fawaz is one of them.
Mr. Lukman, hello, Bìnrin.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, sir.
Wonderful. Ọkùnrin ni mò ń pe gbogbo àwọn ọmọ yín o. Princess, continue.
No, olóbìnrin kan. So, ọlọ́mọ mẹ́rin, nínú àwọn mẹ́rin yẹn, Mrs. Busari, tó jẹ́ head education team wa, wọ́n ti fún méjì nínú àwọn ọmọ yẹn ní scholarship títí dé university, you know. Wọ́n ní àwọn máa take wọn up. Ó yẹ kó a ti ń ṣe arrangement báwọn ọmọ yẹn ṣe máa move lọ sí school ní boarding school. Courtesy of Mrs. Busari, one of our, members here. And ilé tán ní mi kí Mr. Lukman kúrò ńbẹ̀. Ẹ̀gbọ́n Mr. Rashid, wọ́n ní ìyá wọn fún wọn nílẹ̀ kan, gbogbo wọn lọ ti kọ́ nǹkan kan sórí ilẹ̀ yẹn. And ibi tí Mr. Lukman gbé yẹn, tẹ́ bá wò dáadáa, tá bá wo background ẹ̀, kò wà wheelchair friendly gan. So, since táwọn ẹbí dẹ̀ ti ní kó kúrò ńbẹ̀, we are taking it upon ourselves, yeah? Ilẹ̀ tán fún wọn nínú ilẹ̀ ìyá wọn tí ẹ̀gbọ́n wọn Rashid hand over fún wọn. Ibi tá lè ṣe room and parlour self-contained fún wọn wà lórí ilẹ̀ yẹn, space tó kù yẹn. Ó lè ṣe room and parlour self-contained. Tá dẹ̀ máa lè furnish it, tán máa lè live better life, Tá máa lè, it's just our long-term project. We have other people on the side too. We have someone at Ojuore Nisongo tó yẹ pé àwọn náà need irú help báyìí, but Mr. Lukman ló wà paramount because tí wọ́n wà life threatening la ṣe take help báyẹn. So if we will do our normal donation tá à ń ṣe fún Yoruba Union, me with Mr. Lukman inclusive as a major, like a lifetime, like a trophy project. By machine, so I share to lay fún wọn. Then whatever it is, tó bá fẹ́ máa ṣe lẹ́yìn yẹn, wọ́n á jẹ́ ká mọ̀, àmọ́ bá ṣe lè ṣe ètò ẹ̀. Àwọn tó bá lè get like wọ́n máa ń lo prosthetics, tó máa ń lo fẹsẹ̀ and all that, a lè get yẹn fún the blade, blade, àwọn blade táwọn athletes máa ń lò yẹn. We can get that for him, and àmọ́ tó bá lè move around. Since they pé wọ́n kọ́ṣẹ́ mechanic ni wọ́n dẹ̀ náà lè ṣe generator, but he will need a place to put his head at night, and àwọn ọmọ méjì tó kù yẹn yìí máa wà pẹ̀lú wọn. So whoever that can take up the responsibilities of the children, the 2 other children, only wà pẹ̀lú bàbá wọn ká máa support wọn through school and every other thing. Tó bá fẹ́ ṣe, a lè máa ṣe yẹn fún wọn, but ilé yẹn wà paramount because ibi tó ń gbé yẹn àwọn ẹbí, ilé ẹbí ni wọ́n dẹ̀ ti ní kó kúrò ńbẹ̀. So ọ̀rọ̀ ilé yẹn la fẹ́ mójútó ká mọ báyé máa ṣe, Ọlọ́run á dẹ̀ ràn gbogbo wa lọ́wọ́ àní ṣàṣetì. So ìyẹn ni ibi tá dé dúró ń sìn.
Yeah, I need tí mo fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ yín later as the union generally, because personally mo sọ pé ìjọ́ tí mo bá máa sọ fáwọn èèyàn yìí pé ẹni tó bá ní truck, majority àwọn èèyàn wa tó wà labroad tó ń wò mí báyìí, ọ̀pọ̀ nínú yín lẹ ní trucks ní Naija, DAF and all these bigger trucks tó yẹ pé ẹ lè fún union. Ṣẹ̀rí àìmọye nǹkan la fẹ́ ṣe tó jẹ́ pé oye tí union ná láti move àwọn nǹkan wa tí a fẹ́ kó lọ fáwọn èèyàn. Imagine a fẹ́ lọ help àwọn èèyàn bí kan sìn, a ná 1 million lórí transportation. Imagine 800,000 because a fẹ́ kó gbé wa débì kan. Ní nǹkan tí Nàìjíríà dín sìn. So a ná 2 million naira lórí pé a fẹ́ lọ pín nǹkan. Nǹkan tá a dẹ̀ fẹ́ lọ pín, gbogbo nǹkan tá a fẹ́ lọ pín lè má ju 2 million, 3 million yẹn náà lọ. So ẹni tó bá ní truck nílé, princess ẹ̀yin lè máa make appeal yẹn at a point tó ti yẹ yín sìn. Ó jẹ́ kí n padà sí ọ̀dọ̀ Mr. Lukman. Ahmed, ẹ bá ń yí ojú àbí síbẹ̀ yẹn díẹ̀. Ahmed o, thank you very much fún eléyìí tí o ṣe yìí, and ìwọ pẹ̀lú ẹni tí ó fi wá lọ́kàn balẹ̀, okay, wípé anything tí a bá ṣe, like many other things tó ti handle as well, especially ní Ìlọrin axis and across Yorùbá land.
Where is the children so just careful?
Now, bí princess ṣe sọ́lẹ̀ nǹkan yẹn, mo fẹ́ kí o bá mi add the voice títí ẹ mọ́ àwọn activities tí ẹ ń carry out on behalf of Yorùbá Union, because ìwọ ni ojú union. Every video tí Yorùbá Union bá share pẹ̀lú ara wa níbi lọ́jọ́ tèmi, you have always been the eyes. Kó tó di pé ọ̀rọ̀ Mr. Lukman stand out, being one of the Yorùbá Unionists fúnra ẹ̀, Ahmed, tell us our institution by tètè come across and the in-house plan on how to go after them or get them sorted. To my mind, I mind you, just a moment, Ahmed. Mo fẹ́ sáré sọ pé thank you so much to Anne Mary Agono, Anne Mary wọ́n ti fún wa ní owó lórí PayPal. Thank you. Another person, no, here we go. 1 second though. Chikelue, thank you. I have seen your donation as well. And that is one thing, our platform, for those who stayed back and decided to support Adupeo, Esheo, it does not, I mean, there are people lórí platform, wọn care, bóyá Yorùbá ni àbí Igbo ni àbí Hausa ni àbí what have you. If it is actually right, they would support it. So the first 2 donations, Timori Nibi Lale, is coming from the members of the temple. Ahmed, Joe, please.
Well, Yorùbá, Oje big project. Tí Ọlọ́run ṣe tí a ní princess as ẹni tó ń pilot obìnrin bí ọkùnrin ni wọ́n, because I could remember single-handedly wọ́n ṣe wa mọ́tò across gbogbo southwest state. Èmi tí mo jẹ́ ọkùnrin gan mi lè ṣe irú nǹkan báyìí. So a lot of things ni a ti ṣe gẹ́gẹ́ bí Yorùbá Union, and a lot of projects bá ṣe pín nǹkan fún àwọn àgbàlagbà, àwọn ọmọ tásọ wọn ya, àwọn ọmọ tí wọn ní bàtà, àwọn physically challenged, especially àwọn tó wà ní I think Ife, and a lot of things báyìí ní Yorùbá Union ti ṣe. Àti lọ sí Ogun State, gbogbo southwest state yọnyán ni àti lọ, and a lot of things ni àti come across, and a lot of challenges náà ni àdẹ̀ ti rí, where princess náà ni ẹni tá a máa kọ́kọ́ kí jù náà, because obìnrin gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo ti sọ, obìnrin bí ọkùnrin ni wọ́n, and tí a bá ń ṣe báyìí ó máa jẹ́ nǹkan tó jẹ́ pé inú àwọn èèyàn máa dùn, especially àwọn tó ń wò pé báwo làwọn ṣe fẹ́ ṣe, àwọn olórí wa ẹ jẹ́ n give as an example a lọ sí ibì kan ní Ìbàdàn gbàtà lọ pé oúnjẹ a lot of people ló come across wọn wò pé ṣé irú union dẹ̀ ṣì wà báyìí àrùbá àwọn kan tó kàn jẹ́ pé ọkọ̀ máa sí ṣọ́ọ̀bù pẹ̀lú Yorùbá union so a lot of things láti ṣe ń pa àwọn ọmọ kéékèèké àwọn ọmọ school àti àwọn abarapá òun náà ló fà tá a fi come across Mr. Lukman and situation tá a rí wọn àdẹ̀wò pé tiwọn ó jẹ́ priority tá a wọ̀ kọ́kọ́ ṣe there is a woman ní Ogun State ní I think ní Ifọ̀ àbíbí kan tí a lọ bá wọ́n ṣe ojú òre woman yẹn náà ọmọ wọn ẹ má bínú máa sọ yẹn náà ọmọ wọn ti fẹ́ wọ school even tó wọ́n pè mí ní last week mi lè pick a call wọn because mi mọ tí mo máa sọ fún ọ because ti Mr. Lukman lọkọ jẹ́ priority náà tom plead pẹ̀lú mi pé ọmọ àwọn bó ṣe máa wọ school ọkọ wọn ti fi wọ́n lẹ̀ Èkó náà wà tẹ́lẹ̀ so ọkọ wọn fi wọ́n lẹ̀ náà ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wá síbẹ̀ yẹn and woman yẹn ó níṣẹ́ ọwọ́ tó ń ṣe ohun sweater àwọn tó máa ń hun sweater yẹn ni àti cardigan lórí ọyọ kan 200 naira ló ń rí lórí ọyọ kan imagine ẹnìkan lọ́kàn máa gbéṣẹ́ yẹn wá ó máa take profit ó máa fún 200 lórí ọyọ kan so ọmọ ẹ̀ náà fẹ́ lọ sí school ó dẹ̀ need the help gẹ́gẹ́ bí Mr. Lukman àtàwọn ọmọ náà need the help so I'm pleased sí gbogbo Nigerian Karo Jire union and the lovers of Yorùbá union kọjọ kí wọ́n help union kí ó tẹ̀ sí iwájú.
Thank you very much, Ahmed. Now, Princess, ẹ̀yin ni obìnrin bí ọkùnrin tí everybody refer to, so which means pé ẹ̀yin carry more authority. Your words carries more authority. So mo fẹ́ kẹ́ choose one very carefully. Now, ṣe get in see. Based on nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ bèrè yìí. Challenges is many times, let it suffer me personally. Challenges tí ẹ̀ ń face. Àkọ́kọ́, union yìí ti, the mission union yìí ti expose yín to the real rot. Nǹkan táwọn èèyàn wá ń face in the heartland of Yoruba land. Number one, you have been exposed to all of that. Wow, is this bad? The second thing is pé you are also faced with the fear of, would your effort even be impactful? Would our effort were even impact at all with this level? And along the line, you have decided to draft out things that to my help we reach more people and all of that. This is when I want to keep our share. Can you worst challenges in when you go out there at your Jin Rere Yoruba Union at Yoruba Nation? Princess. Bomi. That's unbelievable.
Well, one of the challenges Timori Gagabe mentioned.
Yes. Continue, Ahmed.
One of the challenges Timori Gagabe mentioned on the issue of a truck
transportation.
Yeah, transportation. In terms of transportation, our your fuel subsidy now, high of PMST high, but tí a bá pe driver kan ó máa kàn fi wá ẹ̀mọ́ ó máa fi wá pa ni then ó máa gbé price yẹn ó máa inflate price yẹn in tó jẹ́ goods maybe nǹkan tá a fẹ́ lọ kún tí ò ju 1 million lọ then a sì máa ná 1 million náà because a máa fẹ́ reach out sí every nook and cranny of the states then a dẹ̀ ti máa kọ́kọ́ bargain pẹ̀lú ọ pé ibi tá à ń lọ dé o ìmí ìgbà mi alẹ́ ní 5 days la máa lò ká lò 6 or 7 days. At the end of the day, I had the own on. So ti abale ni truck and one like maybe Sienna or any Oma bus can see apart from the truck.
Passenger vehicle. As well as okay. Princess, so
yes.
Ọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan ọ̀bọ̀ gbọ́ mi rárá. Mi wọ́n ṣe ń gbọ́ mi báyìí. She's back. No, the question gbọ́ mi náà. Ṣé ń gbọ́ mi, Princess? No. So mo máa ní láti kick princess out again. Whatever is the problem, is from our own end, I would say. So, Mr. Lukman, you camera sójú wọn dé kí mi àti sáré ní one-on-one kí tó pe Mr. Rashid. In fact, gan mi ò mind tí Mr. Rashid bá mi jókòó sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ yín bẹ́ẹ̀ bí tí Ahmed wà yẹn. Because next tí mo fẹ́ sọ yìí, get ó ẹ̀yin náà ṣe get sir. So the first time tí mo kọ́kọ́ máa rí ojú yín òun ni first video ńgbà tá kọ́kọ́ wá yẹn tá wá fún wọn ní wheelchair. Second time tí mo máa rí ojú yín was ìjọ́ tí wọ́n ṣe arrangement pé ní hospital ní General Hospital Ìlọrin I believe àbí. And then the third time tí mo máa rí ojú yín ní ìgbà lẹ́yìn ìgbà tá ti ṣe ọ̀rọ̀ operation yẹn tán tá ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ilẹ̀ tí màmá fi sílẹ̀ tẹ́ ń sọ pé wọ́n lè kọ́ nínú àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Ṣùgbọ́n àwọn nǹkan kan wà tí mo observe which is kọ́lọ́hún jọ kó fi yìn wá ṣẹ̀gẹ́ tí wọ́n ní pé ṣẹ́rí à ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa tá a bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa èèyàn tí ẹbí wa tó dabarapá àbí tí nǹkan kan ń ṣe inú mi dùn pọ́n mention lórúkọ yín every time tá à ń sọ wọ́n mention lórúkọ yín yẹn ni pé somehow nǹkan tó ṣe Mr. Lukman ó padà wá di nǹkan tó padà affect gbogbo ẹbí including ẹ̀yin náà níbi pé ẹ̀ ń sá eré pé láti wá àlàáfíà fún wọn irú àbótọ́. So ọ̀rọ̀ pé ẹ̀ ń wá àlàáfíà fún àbúrò yín láti màmá wà láyé tí bàbá wà láyé ẹgẹ́ tí ń sìn ó padà di tó yẹ pé gẹ́gẹ́ bí wọ́n ṣe sọ́mọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́ǹkan o business titi yín náà ó padà fara gbá láwọn àsìkò kan bẹ́ẹ̀ ni àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́.
bẹ́ẹ̀ ni sà.
Good. So ó ti wá di pé somehow tí a bá ń ro bí a ṣe fẹ́ ran Mr. Lukman lọ́wọ́ wọ́n ní ta bá ń tọ́jú wọ́n níbi ta ti ń tọ́jú aláàárẹ̀ a máa tọ́jú ara wa náà. So mo notice bond kan láàrin ẹ̀yin méjèèjì àṣẹ̀gbọ́n àtàbúrò mo fẹ́ bank on that bond get n sìn yẹn ni wípé mo fẹ́ kí or should I put it this way mo fẹ́ kí ẹ jẹ́ bí ẹni tí ó máa jẹ́ bí ojú wa gbogbo nǹkan tóun tí àwọn ká fẹ́ ṣe pẹ̀lú Mr. Lukman mo fẹ́ wò pé ẹ lè jẹ́ ojú wa láti rí pé gbogbo ẹ yọrí sí dáadáa ṣé mo lè ronú bẹ́ẹ̀ àtọ́.
mo gbọ́ Yorùbá yín yé.
ẹ gbọ́ lágbọ́yé sàbí.
mo gbọ́ lágbọ́wọ́.
Great. So one thing ni kò mo máa béèrè lọ́wọ́ yín sìn sir ẹ get lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí tí ẹ bá ní àǹfààní láti béèrè fún nǹkan tí ẹ mọ̀ wípé ó lè ní bó tẹ̀ jẹ́ wọ́n bá ipa díẹ̀ ó lè má jẹ́ gbogbo ẹ̀ tán ẹ get sí ipa díẹ̀ nínú economic life títara yín tàdé mọ̀ wípé tí ó bá rọrùn fẹ́yìn náà díẹ̀ á padà ṣe kí ni á padà kan àbúrò yín náà like it has always been. So tí mo bá fẹ́ béèrè lọ́wọ́ yín pé kí ni nǹkan tí ẹ̀yin wò pé immediate thing lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí tó lè ràn yín lọ́wọ́ what would that be kí ni nǹkan yẹn lè jẹ́ tí n bá béèrè.
ó wà nínú tọ́rẹ́ Ọlọ́run bá fún yín lágbára àti ṣègùnmọ́dé kí n lè sọ pé nǹkan báyìí.
wọ́n ní ẹ ní ọ̀kadà tí wọ́n gbà lọ́wọ́ yín.
bẹ́ẹ̀ ni sà.
àbúrò yín sọmọ́rọ̀ ń tán nǹkan pé òun máa ń dúró sí junction kan táwọn ọlọ́kadà wà ládùúgbò yẹn bóyá ẹjẹ chairman wọn ní o àbí ẹjẹ kan náà àwọn exco wọn ni lóòótọ́ ni àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́.
bẹ́ẹ̀ ni sà kò sí rọ́mẹ̀.
tó níwájú gbogbo everybody wà níbí ìlálẹ́ yìí èmi lè sọ fún yín pé ọ̀kadà yẹn láì ṣe ní installment or anything ó yẹ kí union lè ṣe nǹkan kan nípa ẹ̀ tá bá fẹ́ pè ní ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ ẹ̀gẹ́ tí ń ṣe tá bá fẹ́ pè ní bíi starter ìdí ni wípé èmi ò bá ní ká ṣe wọ́n fún Mr. Lukman gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ but pẹ̀lú condition Mr. Lukman àti experience tẹ̀yìn á fẹ́ dà pé tó bá sọ pé kọ́lọ́hún ran ẹni tí kọ́lọ́hún jọ kó bá mi ran ẹni tí tó máa dá fún tó máa ran èmi náà lọ́wọ́. So this kind of arrangement lè work. So ṣé tá bá ṣe arrangement ọ̀kadà tí bá bá àwọn àgbààgbà union sọ̀rọ̀ a lè fi yẹn bẹ̀rẹ̀ báwo àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́.
Ó dáa bẹ́ẹ̀ sà.
tó kí n má lọ yín ní fún jù ẹ gbọ́ ẹ máa ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń ṣe because ẹni tí a bá ti fojújọ tó jọmọ ìyá èèyàn tó jẹ́ ẹ̀jẹ̀ èèyàn tí ẹ̀yin bá ti ń ṣe bí ẹ ṣe ń ṣe ìyẹn túmọ̀ sí gbogbo nǹkan tí union fẹ́ ṣe pẹ̀lú Mr. Lukman àtàwọn ọmọ ilé la wà nìyẹn o àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni sà.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni God bless you àti gbogbo wa so ẹ jẹ́ kí n gbé princess padà so Mr. Lukman. Ilé sọ fẹ́yìn lélẹ̀ yìí ilé kíkọ́ ò kì í ṣe nǹkan tí a máa mú lórí iṣẹ́ mọ̀.
Wọ́n fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ kan.
All right. Okay.
Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín gan. Kò sí nǹkan tí mo tún fẹ́ wí. Tábà ní ó tọ́pẹ́ ó tún jọpẹ́ lọ nǹkan mi ti wá mẹ́. But ọpẹ́ náà ni tí mo lè máa dú. Wàláhì ọpẹ́ ni tí mo lè máa dú. Ó dùn mọ́ mi pé Yorùbá Union àwàláhì wọ́n gbé ilé wa ró. Wọ́n gbé fámìlì wa wọ́n tún gbé ró padà. Because ẹbí wa ti dàrú ó ti túká. Ìjà nípa ti ọmọ ìyá mi, mo dúpẹ́ o. Tìròyìn báyìí bá ń bẹ ní Nàìjíríà ní orílẹ̀-èdè láàrin àwa tá a jẹ́ Yorùbá, ìfàtí ìyà onígbé àwa Yorùbá tó báyìí. Àmọ́ Ọlọ́run tó gbé ẹ̀yin kalẹ̀, aṣíwájú náà ní ó tún máa ṣe àwọn èèyàn tó ń bọ̀ lẹ́yìn yín tí wọ́n tún ṣe dáadáa. Tọ́lọ́run ó taari wá tí wọ́n tún ṣe dáadáa. Kó wá gbà wá lọ́wọ́ amúnisìn. Amúnisìn Yorùbá torí mo gbọ́ nínú gbọ̀rọ̀ yìí tẹ̀ ti sọ sẹ́yìn. Amúnisìn Yorùbá kọ́lọ́run yọ wá lọ́wọ́ wọn. Ó wá ṣerú yín báyìí kó pọ̀ lọ gbà lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà. Káwa Yorùbá náà ká lè túra ká lè nira sí ibi tó wù wá. Gbogbo eléyìí tí bá ń ṣẹlẹ̀ látẹ̀yìnwá, a ní sọ pé Yorùbá ò dáa. Àmọ́ ìtẹ́ ẹsẹ̀ yìí ó fi yé wa pé tẹ́yìn bá sì já síwájú tẹ̀ ń kọ̀ǹtró Nàìjíríà. Àwa tá a jẹ́ ọmọ ìyá yín àní dààmú. Ọba tí ò gbé yín kalẹ̀ nírinṣẹ́ èṣù fún àwa ọmọ Yorùbá kò ní sàwa náà nírinṣẹ́ èṣù fún yín lágbára lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run. Ọba tí ò ṣe yín nírinṣẹ́ èṣù fún àwọn mọ̀lẹ́bí yín kò ní yín padà sábú lágbára Ọlọ́run. Mo kí princess náà o mo kí wọn gan Ọlọ́run jáde ó jèrè ọmọ wọn o. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ wọn Ọlọ́run bá dúpẹ́ fún wọn kò sí nǹkan kan tí mo fẹ́ wí tó kọjá pé mo dúpẹ́. Ọlọ́run bá dúpẹ́ fún yín.
Roti ẹbí yín ìtúká agbára Ọlọ́run. Mr. Lukman gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo ṣe ń sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ nǹkan ṣe mọ̀ pé ilé kíkọ́ kò ń ṣe nǹkan tá à ń mú lórí igbá a ti dúpẹ́ pé àlàáfíà ti ń padà ti ń dé àbí ètò lórí ti àwọn ọmọ ni èyí tó máa ṣe bí ẹni nǹkan sọ ọmọ ti fẹ́ wọlé ìwé báyìí ìyẹn ló máa jẹ́ òkúnkúndùn wa ń sìn yín nígbà tí a bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní ṣe nǹkan kan lórí ilẹ̀ yẹn gbọ́ so yẹn ni pé létò ni àwọn ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ union náà àwọn náà máa retí nǹkan tí a ń pè ní update so ẹ ti dára wa àti dára yín egungun ti wọnú ẹran ti wọnú egungun àti pé tí Yorùbá Union bá ṣì ń bẹ torí adálẹ̀ lórí òótọ́ ni kò sẹ́ni tó dálẹ̀ torí pé bóyá ọkọ̀ tí wọ́n fẹ́ fóun bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ẹ̀gbọ́n sí orí òótọ́ láti dá sílẹ̀ àwọn bíi tiyín tí wọ́n sì máa jẹrú àǹfààní báyìí tí wọ́n ń wò wá àti tí ò tiẹ̀ wò wá ń sìn wọ́n á fi irú tiyín yìí wọ́n á fi tọrọ a fẹ́ kó di nǹkan tí àwọn èèyàn lè sọ pé mo fẹ́ fi ọlá oore Yorùbá Union because oore ẹ̀dẹ́kọ́ oore àtinúwá ni fún àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá la ṣe pè ní union ìgbìmọ̀ má jẹ́ kó bàjẹ́ ilẹ̀ Yorùbá tí a ń pè ní káàárọ̀ òjíire tó bá ń sọ Yorùbá lẹ́nu tí mò ń sọ Yorùbá lẹ́nu ọmọ Yorùbá ni mí o níbikíbi tí a bá ti ríra wa ó yẹ kí a lè fara wa pọ̀ ká fara wa dìde àìdíà tí a ń pè ní Yorùbá Union nìyẹn princess kí line yẹn tó cut off ṣé ń gbọ́ mi báyìí. ṣé ń gbọ́ mi princess.
Mo ń gbọ́ Máyégún, mo ń gbọ́ díẹ̀díẹ̀.
Mo fẹ́ kí go on.
Mr. Lukman. Mr. Lukman, jẹ́ kí Fawaz bọ́ síwájú kó wá kí wa. Kálẹ̀ máa ìdí ẹ̀ báwo ni? Ṣòro o rántí nǹkan tí mo sọ fún ẹ lọ́jọ́ yẹn nígbà tí mo wá.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Kí ni mo sọ fún ẹ? Ṣé o lè rántí dáadáa? Àbí kí n rán ẹ létí? Nígbà tèmi àti ẹnìkan lọ, ó sọ fún ẹ lálẹ́ ọjọ́ yẹn pé ṣo máa rántí, ṣo máa sọ fún mi? Àbó rántí? Ó yá sọ nǹkan tí mo sọ fún ẹ, èyí tó bá rántí bẹ̀ sọ.
Máa disturb wọn ká máa ṣe wọn dáadáa pé ká máa disturb wọn rárá àti rárá pé tẹ bá fẹ́.
Mo dẹ̀ sọ fún ẹ pé mo ní ògo wájú ló máa lò, mo ló máa padà sí school, mo ló máa fojú sẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ẹ. Mo dẹ̀ sọ fún ẹ pé big boys don't really cry like that, but if you have to, tó bá really láti sunkún díẹ̀ wá kò sunkún díẹ̀ wá sì ju ara nù torí pé ojú ẹ ni bàbá ẹ ń wò. Now ara dádì ẹ ti yá ń sìn, ó yìí máa wojú ẹ ṣé wọn pé wọn ló máa ń tì wọ́n káàkiri. Ó sì máa wojú ẹ. So I want you to be very strong. Ṣó ń gbọ́? Tó bá ti strong, ara bó ṣe strong yẹn, ara ẹ làwọn àbúrò ẹ ti máa mú energy tiwọn náà, àwọn náà máa wà strong dáadáa. Mo ti sọ fún ẹ pé tọmọ kékeré bá wà, tí irú nǹkan báyìí bá ṣẹlẹ̀ sí at this age, Ọlọ́run fẹ́ kó strong gan ni. So you have to be very strong. And I am super proud of you. And everything will be all right, like I said before. Gbogbo nǹkan ló máa wà okay, ló máa dá lágbára Ọlọ́run. Máyégún, we have little challenges. I've been on and off. Ní bọ́ọ̀sì mọ́. Bọ́ọ̀sì wá wà nílé ibi tó ti ń túnṣe láti jọ ẹ̀ àìtí ìyọwọ́ kúrò lára ẹ̀. Mi mọ̀ bí Ahmed sì sọ̀rọ̀ síbẹ̀. Logistics ń gbé owó wa lọ seriously. Kò ń ṣe kékeré. So mi mọ̀ bá yẹ fẹ́ ṣe, mi mọ̀ àwọn tó fẹ́ ràn wá lọ́wọ́ lórí ẹ̀ bọ́ yẹ fẹ́ ṣe. Then Mr. Lukman project wọn ká kọ́kọ́ ṣe àwọn ọmọ yẹn náà, mi mọ̀ bá yẹ fẹ́ ṣe àwọn méjì tó kù náà. Whatever. Mi gbọ́ ẹ o Máyégún. Whatever tá bá máa ṣe lórí ẹ̀, ká tètè mọ̀ k'Ọlọ́run rọ gbogbo wa ṣe.
No, ẹ máa sọ̀rọ̀ yín lọ. Ṣé àti ní issue pẹ̀lú connection bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn, you know, we can just hear all night.
K'Ọlọ́run rọ gbogbo wa ṣe lórí ẹ̀ ká ṣàṣeyọrí. Ká ṣàṣeyọrí lórí ẹ̀. So àwọn nǹkan tèmi kàn ní láti sọ. Sórí prosthetic ta fẹ́ rà fún wọn. Ká tètè get it so that he can be able to move around. They normally need a little bit of rehabilitation too. So ká tètè mọ báyé fẹ́ ṣe yẹn. K'Ọlọ́run ṣàánú gbogbo wa. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo Yorùbá Union o. Ní mi mọ bí ṣe fẹ́ ṣàdúrà yẹn because I'm a bit emotional, you know. Gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ ó kàn gbogbo ẹ̀ kàn bá gbogbo ẹ̀ lára mi lálẹ́ yìí ni. But Ọlọ́run á ṣàránṣe fún wa. Rí tiwa ṣe. Iṣẹ́ wa ò ní dìṣẹ́ mọ́ wa lọ́wọ́. Àwọn ọmọ wa ò ní dọmọ lọ́mọ. Gbogbo bá ṣe mójútó Mr. Lukman tí a jẹ́ káwọn ọmọ wọn dọmọ lọ́mọ. Ọlọ́run á ṣá.
Àmín. So ó dà pé princess ni wọ́n ní princess network princess Balógun ló wá lọ ní problem lálẹ́ yìí. Usually a rò pé network Ìlọrin ló máa ń ní problem ni, but I am so happy. I'm very proud pé a ti ṣe tí a lè ṣe lálẹ́ yìí. Inú wa dùn láti rí yín Mr. Lukman. Ẹ má worry mọ́. Ṣẹ́gbọ́n sìn. Nígbà tí àwọn àgbààgbà union bá pàdé, ṣe ń gbọ́. Gbogbo ìta sọ lálẹ́ lójú gbogbo ayé àti ìta bá dẹ̀ máa ṣe lẹ́yìn eléyìí náà. Gbélé gbọ́. Kò yé? Ẹ ṣeun o. Fawaz. Mr. Rashid. Ẹ ṣeun. ẹ túbọ̀ dira yín mú bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn o inú mi dùn láti rí yín o Ahmed great job no mo kí ẹ great job kú iṣẹ́ náà Ọlọ́run á fi yìn wọ́ náà o ìdí èyí mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo wa pátá tí a darapọ̀ so ó dàárọ̀ o ní ọ̀dọ̀ tí yín bẹ̀yẹn mi ò tí ì dágbére fáwọn èèyàn tèmi o so èmi àti princess ṣì máa padà wá àwọn àgbààgbà union Yorùbá union àwọn náà ṣì máa wá tí wọ́n máa wá gist wa ọ̀ ẹ jẹ́ n sọ fún yín tó bá jẹ́wọ́ tó ń wò mí lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí ló mọ̀ pé níbì kan wà ní Nàìjíríà sì tó páàkì one big nice truck tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ ní o truck tó ṣe kẹ́rù ó máa fún wa ní ààrẹ ń tẹ o I mean it can happen bó jẹ́ boss náà ni lára àwọn bosses tẹ máa ń kó lọ létẹ kó lọ Nàìjíríà yẹn tẹ fẹ́ tà yẹn gbogbo ẹgbẹ́ ti bàjẹ́ náà Nàìjíríà anyway náà gbogbo owó wọn ti bàjẹ́ ẹ fún wa o 18-seater what do you call it all this bus system ọ̀ pé ó ní AC ni o a bus tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ ni o tó ní AC tó ṣá dáadáa ní Nigeria weather yẹn ni o because what we do mostly ni pé à ń visit so many rural areas communities across Yoruba land and trust me we are reaching out and for now a lot of people wọ́n lè má ti rí iṣẹ́ ọwọ́ wa but nígbà tí ó bá máa di pé ariwo yẹn bá máa bú jáde kò ní ya majority yín lẹ́nu nítorí pé kí ni ẹmu àti bẹ̀rẹ̀ gbogbo everybody tó ti lọ sórí give send go link tẹ́lẹ̀ fi donate wà ńbẹ̀ yẹn ẹ̀yin tẹ́ fẹ́ donate fún wa through bank account ní Nàìjíríà kó tó sọ owó yín dìdàkudà lákàntì yín lé ẹ send gbogbo ẹ̀ sínú Yorùbá Union account gbogbo náírà tẹ́ filẹ̀ nínú àwọn account yín lé yẹn tẹ́ ẹ lò ní ìdí ẹ o ẹ lọ mú token yín yẹn ń sìn yín kẹ́ lọ yọ token yín ní gbogbo bí tẹ́ fi sí grab your everything ẹ lọ da gbogbo owó yẹn sínú kí ni Yorùbá Union àwọn èèyàn tí owó yẹn lè change life wọn pọ̀ gan o kí Nàìjíríà tó devalue ẹ̀ tán àbí kó tó jí gbogbo owó yẹn mọ́ yín l'account mo kàn sọ ni o ṣẹ̀gẹ́t now the next time tí a bá máa wá sórí bíi we'll come and give an account of níbo la ti dé níbo la bá dé tàbádẹ̀ rẹ ni tó ń tọ̀kadà nínú wa náà níṣẹ́ tá a máa fi lọ ná 1 million 1.2 million láti fi ra ọ̀kadà fún ẹ̀gbọ́n Mr. Lukman abẹ́rẹ́ yìí tẹ lọ́kadà tẹmọ̀ pé wá come and take this Bajaj ó kọ̀ wá ń bí náà ni mi ò lò náà the reason tí nǹkan tá à ń ṣe jù nínú Yorùbá Union ni pé we share volunteering everything you do or everything you give is voluntarily so tó bá ti feel like you will likely be changing or in fact you will be helping to put the fast wheel on a vehicle that could be the one a lot of us are going to board from Yoruba land, the bonded vehicle of the Karo Jire. Marry in later, ó dàárọ̀. So, kẹ́tó lọ sùn, like video yìí, share, and tomorrow is another day. Ó dàárọ̀.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun Diary ayé bí number one.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun Diary ayé bí number one.
Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara yìí.
Mayegun Diary ayé bí number one.
Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube.
Mayegun Diary ayé bí number one.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí.
Mayegun Diary ayé bí number one.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun Diary ayé bí number one.
Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí.
Mayegun Diary ayé bí number one.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun Diary ayé bí number one.
Mayegun Diary politico.
Mayegun Diary ayé bí number one.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun.
Mayegun Diary ayé bí number one.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Mayegun Diary ayé bí number one.
Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun Diary ayé bí number one.
àní ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Máyégún ti dé. Máyégún ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí.